Good morning, everyone. Myself, Mohan, the founder of this institution, and with regard to my experience in UPSC, I had given 4 attempts. In 4 attempts, I had cleared all the prelims. I had been to interview 2 times, and I had missed the UPSC final, the list by 4 marks and 6 marks. So that is how close I had missed. And with respect to my state exam, that is Karnataka Public Service Commission, I was selected for the service, but I didn't go to the service. So this is my background with respect to the UPSC background. My education, everything is from Bangalore, Bishop Cotton Boys School and RV College of Engineering. Basically, I'm an engineer here. So this is my brief background. And now we'll start off with this orientation session. Since I'm not in Bangalore today, so I'm taking it online. Probably 2-3 days, I'll meet all of you at the center. And with that, okay, let me ask you, what is the meaning of this orientation session? Yeah, so what do you mean by orientation session? Why do we have to take this session?
Actually, to clear our doubts.
Okay, clear our doubts. Somebody says to clear our doubts, then Shweta says to clear our doubts, then
Sir, to know about UPSC.
yeah, to know what is UPSC, then what is this orientation session? What do we do in this session? See, we don't go with the classes in the initial classes itself. Initial classes, we don't go with the subjects as such. But this particular session becomes very important to understand what this exam is all about. Any other thing that you can think of, what we'll discuss in this orientation session?
The basic information.
Okay, that is,
Syllabus.
okay. Then?
So UPSC is a vast, all over India. We'll be not knowing how many departments are included. So actually, we just know Union Public Service Commission, but it's like a vast. So
Okay.
in this section, I can clarify all that.
Okay. So I think I'll put this under no UPSC itself.
Yeah.
Anything else? Anything else?
Sir, to know all the basic information.
Yeah. Again, that comes under UPSC itself. All basics about UPSC is what you'll be knowing today. I would like others also to participate. See, as I said, keep it as an informal session so that let it be more of a discussion session. And online sessions, especially, only if it is interactive, you'll be interested. Or else you'll feel bored after some time. So that is the reason I'm saying, please be interactive and let us make it more enriching. Or else, online sessions, it is very difficult to sustain that energy for next 2 hours. Yeah, what else do you understand by the orientation session? Yeah?
We will also know about the institution.
Yeah, who was that? Who was that who just spoke? I could not hear you. Can you please repeat? Can you please repeat?
So what to read, what not to read
Yeah.
about the books.
Yeah, very good. What to read and what not to read. Not to, and also the other most important thing is how to read. Even this becomes very important. So basically, in the orientation, any orientation session, right, that we take, it is basically to give you the direction in which you should be thinking. Obviously, all of you know that there are 3 stages into the exam: prelims, mains, interview. There is an optional subject. There's GS that you have to cover, GS 1, 2, 3, 4, all that. So a general idea you will have. But here it will be, because there are a lot of myths surrounding UPSC, like it is the mother of all exams. Is it true? right? Or it is the most toughest exam. It requires at least 4 to 5 attempts to crack this exam. Is that true? So there are so many myths and doubts surrounding this exam, and we'll go on to clear, okay, what is actually UPSC and what it takes to crack this exam in the very first attempt, right? So that is what we'll be discussing, and for that, what kind of orientation you should be having. So these are the things that we'll be discussing today. Is that clear? Am I clear? Yeah, because why do I say that is, the subjects that you read, what are the subjects that you read in UPSC? Geography?
Polity,
Yeah.
economy, GK statics,
Okay.
reasoning,
Okay.
history,
Okay.
constitution.
Okay. So, polity, history, geography, economics, science and tech, environment, current affairs, CSAT. Do you think any of these things are new to you?
No, sir.
Yeah? Are these subjects new to you? Like, haven't you read about constitution at all in your life?
We know about that.
Right? You have read constitution somewhere or the other. Have you read about cropping system? What kind of crops we grow in India? Have you read about monsoon?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, have you read about who is the prime minister? What are the powers and responsibilities of a prime minister, president? Who is Ambedkar? Who is Gandhiji? India's freedom struggle, India's art and architecture, Vijayanagar kingdom, Mauryan empire. Right? What I'm trying to tell you is all these things you have read in your school days. Right? You have read all this in your school days. So now the biggest thing is, so what is the new thing that you'll be reading now? Is there anything new that you'll be reading in UPSC exam? Why is this exam becoming so difficult to crack? Why is it called the mother of all exams? Yeah?
Because from basic we will study and we will study each and every topic.
See, each and every topic you would have read in your school days also, no? Because when we ask you to read sometimes from NCERTs, 8th, 9th, 10th NCERTs, that is nothing but your basics only. So what is so special in UPSC? Yeah, the way of asking, that is nothing but the demand of the exam, right? Let me go to that. Anyway, this is more about IASbaba. I will not be discussing much here. Just to tell you quickly, we started in 2015 and with a vision that anybody sitting in the remotest corner of the country should be able to get rank 1. That is the vision in which we started, and we have got it 4 times, including this time. So in the very first time that we got was 2017, Anudeep Durshetty, then 2018, then 2023 and 24. So that is the vision in which we started. This is the journey of IASbaba, a 10 years long journey. So for 2025 June 18th, we will be 10 years old. So that is the entire journey of IASbaba. Then coming to the expansion of IASbaba, these are the branches that we have in Lucknow, Bhopal, Bangalore, 4 centers. Yeah, fine. So that is the brief history that we have got about IASbaba, and I think you would be knowing it. That is the reason you are here. Or else I don't have to explain about IASbaba, the history of IASbaba, all that. So that is the reason I went through it very quickly, so that I should not bore you with that. You have come here with a purpose, that is the orientation session, to understand what this exam demands. That is the most important thing. How to crack UPSC in your first attempt. This you will get to know only when you understand the demand of UPSC exam. So going back to the same question, you will be reading the same set of books, but then what is different in UPSC? The same subjects, polity, history, economics, geography, whatever you are reading, you would have read you'll be reading it even in UPSC. So one is demand of UPSC, understanding the demand of UPSC. Any other things? Any other thing that comes to your mind? Any other thing that comes to your mind? How is UPSC exam different from the other exams? How is UPSC exam different from the other exams? Any idea? Yeah?
No, sir. Actually,
Yeah.
I haven't attended any government-related exam.
Okay, you're new to the exam.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Is it, first of all, is UPSC the mother of all exam?
Yes, sir.
Why? Is it the toughest exam to crack?
If we understand the pattern of the exam technique, it is easy, sir.
Okay. So, but no, just answer if mother, is it the mother of all exam? Is it the toughest exam to crack?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Mother of all exam.
Okay. Anybody says no to it? Anybody says no to it? Okay, all of you agree that this exam is the toughest exam. It is the mother of all exams, right? So, why do you think this exam is called the mother of all exams? Why do you think it is the toughest exam to crack?
Because it covers all the topics.
Okay. In terms of subjects, it covers. You feel like reading everything that is there in and around you.
The way the exams are conducted and the competition.
Okay, it is because subjects that you cover, vast syllabus, I would say. Vast syllabus,
And the competition.
competition. Anything else? It is because of the subjects, the vast syllabus it has, and because of the competition, it is called as the mother of all exams, toughest exams. Any other reasons for it? Any other reasons for it? Yeah? Fine. Answering this, decoding, let us understand, of course, yeah, it is the toughest exam. I too agree it. But what makes this exam tougher? And also, is it true? Then then there are certain category of students who crack it in with their very first attempt. So these are the questions that we'll be discussing in the next part of the session. Fine. So coming to first this one, competition. How many people give this exam? How many people apply for UPSC exam every year?
So more than 10 lakhs?
Yeah, it is around 12 to 13 lakhs, 12 to 14 lakhs. So it is on an average 12 to 13 lakhs or 13 lakhs give this apply for the exam. You know how many people write? How many people write this exam?
8 lakhs?
How many people write this exam? Any idea? It's not 8 lakhs. Any other numbers? Any other numbers? How many people write this exam? Yeah? 4 lakhs. 4 to 5 lakhs, correct. So out of, say, even if I take 10 to 12 lakhs or 12 lakhs on an average, only 4 to 5 lakh people write the exam. From 4 to 5 lakh people who write the exam, how many clear prelims? How many clear prelims?
Maybe 1 lakh?
How many students clear prelims? Any idea? The first stage of the exam, prelims exam, the first stage of the exam, how many students clear this exam? Yeah, good. 10 to 12,000 only. Only 10 to 12,000 clear the first stage. Out of 4 to 5 lakh students, only 10 to 12,000 clear the first stage. Then, how many students clear mains?
2,000.
Yeah?
2,000.
2,500 to 3,000 who clear mains and go for interview. And finally, how many students there? How many seats are there in UPSC? Yeah. Yeah, based on that, on an average, it is 900 to 1,000. So, at least you are aware of the exam. I'm really happy that you know what the exam is. So, this is where you have to start. Though this might, you feel that these are very basics, all that, you need, because one of the answers that was given by you itself was the huge competition makes this exam tougher. The huge competition makes this exam the mother of all exams. So, I'm trying to decode and make you understand what the real competition is. So, just because 12 to 14 lakhs are applying, do you think your competition is with this 12 lakh students?
No.
Right? It is no. It is no. So, and also, what is the success rate? Out of, say, let us assume 4 to 5 lakh people write the exam and only 1,000 students clear. So, what is the success rate?
1%.
I think it's 0.2. 0.2 is the success rate. That is the reason we feel that this is the toughest of all the exam. But then, as I said, out of 4 to 5 lakh people, how many are serious students, sincere students? Out of 4 to 5 lakh people, how many are sincere students? Hardworking students.
Very less.
What is the number?
Maybe 1 lakh to 80,000 to 1 lakh.
Not so much. Not so much.
Only 12,000.
It is not even 12. It should be more than that. You cannot say only 12,000 are hardworking. There are so many students who are hardworking who miss by just 0.3 marks. You know, not even 1 mark. It is less than that. 0.3 marks, 0.5 marks, 0.27 marks. I have personally seen students who just miss out by just 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. So, these people are not, you cannot say these are not hardworking. They are very hardworking students. So, how many do you think are the hardworking students, sincere students, dedicated students?
So 50,000.
Yeah, around 40 to 50,000, let us assume 50,000 are hardworking students. So, your competition is not this 12 lakh or 14 lakh or not even this 4 or 5 lakhs. Your competition is this sincere, hardworking students who are around 40 to 50,000. So, getting it. So, when I say hardworking, you should fall in that category. It is not, when I say hardworking, it is not for 2 days or 3 days or a month. Hard work for a consistent 1.5 to 2 years. Getting it? You need to understand this exam. It does not require a superman or a superwoman to crack this exam. Clear? This exam requires an hardworking, consistent individual, a disciplined, consistent individual. So, that is the most important thing, because I personally know, I've guided personally so many students wherein there are students who come from rural areas, there are students who come from local, regional languages, right? Government colleges, government schools, but still they go on to become an IAS or IPS. You would have read a lot of newspaper articles, no? That an auto rickshaw puller ka, what do you say, son or daughter, or a bus conductor ka son or daughter, or watchman, whoever, like they have cleared this exam. This time around 500 place rank, right? I think his name is Bir Dev, right? He has cleared. He was rearing his sheep. He was looking into it, and still he has made it there. How is this possible? So that is the reason we call UPSC as a great level player field. A level playing field if you understand what is the demand of the exam, and if you are ready to invest at least 1.5 to 2.5 to 3 years for UPSC. Because why do I say that? For example, yeah, we are starting the classes from today, right? So this is May 14th. The next prelims exam will also be around in the month of May itself. Clear? So that is 1 year. So 1 year of study minimum. Right? And once the prelims exam start, the exam process itself is 1.5 years. Because after prelims in May, August, September, you will have mains. Then by December, the results will be out. So from January, the interview will happen. And the results will be out just in the month of May or April. So the exam itself is 1 year. So total minimum 2 years. Even if you are giving your best attempt and you will be able to, and let's assume that you're all are hardworking, very sincere students, and you give it out your best, and there's good luck, there is God's grace, everything, and you crack it in very first attempt. Minimum is 2 years. Getting it? So, and even if you say you miss out prelims, then from there again 2 years. Because preparation again 1 year and the exam process itself 2 years. So at the most we can consider as 2 plus 1, 3 years of dedication, or minimum 2 years. I am talking about minimum 2 years of dedication, or 3 years, 2 to 3 years of dedication. Are you ready to put this? This should be the first question that you should ask yourself. See, let us reading about the subject, how do you read, we'll discuss it later, but you should be ready. Your mindset, you should have that mindset that I'm prepared for this exam for the next 2 plus 1 years. That is the mindset you should get involved. Say you are 23 today, 3 years, that is 26 years. By the time you clear, you find your name in the final list, you will be 25 or 26. So you should be ready to dedicate that. See, it is not, this exam is not like a sprint, 100-meter race. It is a marathon. Clear? So that is the reason, though you find people from all the creamy colleges, be it AIMS for medicine, BMS in Bangalore, or RV College, or PESET, or IITians, or NITians, right? You find so many people from every field, the best lawyers, the best engineers, the best CAs, everybody come for this exam, right? But then not all of them clear. Why? Because this exam requires completely a different thing altogether. It is not based on intelligence only. This exam is based on consistency and discipline. These are the two keywords that you should write it down. See, as the session keeps going, I'll be giving you certain keywords. Okay, and whatever keywords, wherever I'm stressing, please note it down, because that will become a framework for you for the next 2 years or 2 plus 1 years. Please keep this in mind. So all these keywords play a very important role, and we feel that, okay, consistency, I've read it so many, I've heard it so many times. Right, discipline is something that my parents have been telling, my grandparents have been telling, my teachers have been telling. So you feel that it is very easy, but I'll tell you, you do it for 1 month, it can be a challenge. We have this 21-day challenge, some ice bucket challenge, so many things go on in Instagram. Right, similarly, you should keep this as a challenge, and this challenge is not for 1 day, 1 week, 1 month. So going for 2 years or 2 plus 1 years is the way of biggest challenge. Just like Usain Bolt, I hope all of you know Usain Bolt. Who is he? Who is Usain Bolt? An athlete, right? So he can win a 200-meter race, 400-meter race, 600-meter race, or even to an extent 800-meter race, right? But the same person cannot win a 5,000-meter race or a 5-kilometer race. That's called a marathon. A marathon requires a different kind of stamina, different kind of skill set. It is not like you run fast, you study so much intensively for 1 month that you will clear this exam, or 2 months you will clear this exam, because we have also faltered that way. So it doesn't work out like that. In engineering and all, you would have seen, okay, I assume most of you are engineers, what do you say, what we used to do is, we used to get those study holidays for 1 month. And in that 15 days we would have wasted. In the next 15 days we would have properly planned and studied so much that you go and write the exam and you get FCD or distinction, right? So that is not the game in UPSC. That will not at all help you here. Even if you are studying for 6 hours every day, make sure that you study for 6 hours for the next 2 years or the next 2 plus 1 years. This is the mindset you should have. It's a continuous process, just like the way you brush your teeth, right? You take bath, you do your daily activities, you have your food. Just like that, every day, at least 5 to 6 hours of preparation should go on. And when there are vacations, when there are holidays, that 6 hours should definitely increase to 10 hours or 12 hours. It depends. And also you should not slog in the initial hours, initial days. Right? For that, when you are nearing the exam, that is how it starts peaking. We'll discuss all that later. But this is what I want to make you understand. The competition is not this 12 lakh or this 4 to 5 lakh. The competition is this 50,000 hardworking student, and these 50,000 students are hardworking and consistently preparing for since last 2 years. This you should keep in mind. Only then you can compete with them. Only then you can crack this exam. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is with so we discussed about the competition. I hope you have understood what the competition is in this exam. Second thing, or the most that is not the second thing, that is the first thing, that is understanding the demand of the exam. So for that I'll tell you a story, a small story, an anecdote which will make you understand how do you understand the demand of this exam. Okay, let us assume, okay, this is your destination, that is you want to become an IAS, IPS, IFS, whatever your choice is, and there's a big ocean that separates you from your goal or your destination. Fine. So you are here. Okay, I'll take out the name. There is this Shweta here. Fine. So if Shweta wants to reach a destination, when I say Shweta, it can be any one of you, Gayatri, Bhagyashree, whomever I can see right now, right? So it can be any one of you. Say, let us assume you want to cross this ocean and reach the destination. What are the things that you require in this journey?
First, I need to know to swim.
Yeah, you need to know how to swim. If you are trying to swim in an ocean, do you think you will reach your destination? Even though you are a great swimmer, there are more chances that you drown. Or even if you are reaching it, probably it will take you years together to reach it. So what is that thing that you need to cross this ocean and reach your destination?
Sure, I need both need to have a plan. What to do?
Yeah? You need to have a plan.
Yes.
More than that, what resources you need here? Boat also will go off. You need a ship,
Yes.
right? You need a ship, and there are so many ships in the market, right? There are so many ships in the market, and Shweta is intelligent enough to choose IASbaba as her ship. Clear? So Shweta is intelligent and well aware that she's found the right ship here, and the ship's name is IASbaba. I don't want to mention the other ships here. There are so many ships, right? So in that ship, she has chosen IASbaba as her ship. Now, what does she need to cross this ocean?
First, admission.
Admission. You're already there. No, when I say you have chosen, that means you have got admitted. Yeah. Apart from that, apart from the ship, what else do you need?
A guide.
Okay, you need a guide. Then food.
Blanket.
Okay, food.
Blanket.
Okay, blanket, resources, I'll say. Then
The study material, required study
materials, test series, all that comes here, right?
Yes, sir.
Then
Yes, sir.
then some important thing you have all missed. Of course, these are all important. You need a mentor, you need materials, you need a guide, or you need food, you need blanket.
Some sleep.
Yeah, yes, sleep is something you can sleep anytime. That is your choice, because it is your journey, right? It is Shweta's journey, or it can be Gayatri's journey, it can be Bhagyashree's journey, it can be anyone's journey here.
Sir, we should have a self-belief that we will reach our destination.
Okay, you need to have that belief, confidence, all that is there. Then that's it. If you have ship, you have all this. Do you think you can go and directly reach your destination? Yeah.
Consistency.
Okay, that belief, consistency, all that is here. You are missing out an important resource. Yeah.
Sir, definitely you ride the ship.
Yeah.
Sir, driver who rides the ship.
You are the driver there.
So we need a map.
Yeah, very good. Who was that? Can you tell your name? Deepak. Yeah, good. So you need a map. Because without map, where will you go? Then you need one more thing along with the map, which will give you the direction. What is that called?
Compass.
Yeah. So you need a map and a compass, which plays a very important role, because you might have all this. Without map and compass, it will take you 5 years or 10 years to reach your destination. It will become like 5 years plan. Even government has dismantled planning commission, which was to plan for 5 years. Right? So your story will become like that. So the thing is, you need a map and a compass, which will give you that direction, which will make you understand what is the demand of this journey. Clear? So this map and compass is nothing but your syllabus and PYQs. You're able to understand here? The map and the compass are very, very important, plays a very important role, or else you will become directionless. You will feel like reading everything. In fact, if I have to tell you, when I started my preparation, see, those were the days I didn't even know that though I had come from one of the premier colleges from Bangalore, right, which is Harvey College here, I didn't even have an idea that for IAS there's a different. I was thinking for IAS there's a different exam, for IPS there's a different exam. I didn't even know there's one exam called UPSC which gives you that service. There are 20 different services under UPSC, which I was not even aware of. Clear? So that was the time where we started preparation, and all of us had to go to Delhi. Now things have changed, right? So it was in 2011 times I'm talking about. So before going to Delhi, I had to ask my senior, I asked my friend, not my senior, he was in the same batch, just that he was in a different stream. He was in civil engineering. So I had worked for 3 years at IT in a software company, but he did not work. He had gone there to study for UPSC. And when I asked him how to prepare for this exam, he had told me like anything and everything under the sun you need to read. Okay, so it was like, and he had told me that there's like tube light. Before earlier days we used to have this tube light. I don't know whether you guys have seen it or not. I think you would have, or probably when you were in that school days you would have seen that. There used to be tube light. Behind the tube light there used to be a number written. And he used to tell me that you should actually know that number as well. That is what is asked in UPSC. What an ant eats, you should know about that in UPSC. So yet, I mean, this is the situation that we were there. So in fact, what I did, I believed that fellow, and I took up a stool, put it in my house, and I climbed up there, and I was looking behind what was there behind that tube light. So this is how we get fooled around. I mean, this is how, because see, one thing that you freely get in the market is advice. And you need to understand which advice you need to actually take it and imbibe. Or else everybody, especially if you go to in Chandra Layout or in Delhi ORN, if you go there, everybody is your mentor there, advisor. All the way from even brokers there who show you houses, PGs, right? The Xerox shop guy, he'll tell you which book to refer. All that. So what happens, you know, everybody is a mentor in this hot tubs like ORN, Chandra Layout, all that. So you need to understand whom you should actually ask. Even your friend sitting next to you will only know what you would be knowing. Just probably 1 point more than you, that's it. Not more than that. So you need to know whom you should actually ask, who has that experience, who has, I mean, you come here, you have experienced mentors here, you need to ask them and understand it. Clear? So this is how we are all misguided. So what I'm trying to tell you is, this map and compass plays a very important role. That is nothing but your syllabus and PYQs. Am I clear? And of course, this journey is not, do you think this journey is going to be smooth? Why did I take ocean as an example? Do you think that ocean is going to be smooth always?
No, sir.
There will be a lot of ups and downs. There will be turbulence. There will be cyclones that are coming. So there are so many difficulties that you will be experiencing in that journey. And throughout the journey, this map and compass will give you that direction. Though a cyclone is coming here, though high wave or high tide is coming, you need to know how to maneuver and reach your destination ultimately. Clear? And that is what this map and compass will give you. Clear? So who do you think is the hero or the heroine of this journey?
Myself.
Yeah, it is you. So you are going to be the hero or heroine of this journey. See, I might give 100% of whatever we are promising, right? Everybody is there around you, all that. But our contribution would be only 10% to your success. As I say, our contribution is only 10% to your success. So ultimately what I'm trying to say is, I mean, that doesn't mean that we are not giving you anything here. We'll give you the materials. See, all this that you said, no, the materials, the guide, the mentor, the food here, everything will be provided by IASbaba. Clear? So everything will be provided by us. But ultimately, and of course, for us, all students are equal. It is not like this is my favorite student, I'll give only specific resources only to this student. So we'll be giving all the kind of resources, and also we want to be successful. And if we want to be successful, our students should be successful. It's a win-win situation for both of us. And that is the reason I'll make sure that I'll give the best to my student so that my student clears that exam. I did not clear the exam. I just missed out by a few marks. So I should see my student clearing the exam. That gives me more satisfaction. Clear? So with that mindset, we would be giving you. But all that is only 10%. But still that amounts to only 10%. Because the remaining 90% is based on your consistency and discipline. It is based on your consistency and discipline. Clear? This is a very tough, see, it is very easy to know now and you can do it for 1 month. But you do it for 2 years, you will understand how difficult it is. See, you can wake up at 5 o'clock for a few days. But can you wake up at 5 a.m. for next 2 years or 3 years is the biggest challenge. That is where most of the students falter. You know what happens when we say, okay, there's an open mock test. It's a free mock, you can come and take. We announce it. You know, there are 8,000 to 10,000 students who apply for it. Normal mock I'm talking about, the institution mock where we announce there's a mock, open mock, you can come and write. So there will be 8 to 10,000 students who will apply for the test. You know how many students will come and write? Not even that. So it is around 800, yeah, somewhere there. So it is only 10% of the people who come and write out of 8,000. Getting it? So this remaining people are like they're lost there itself. So that is why what I'm saying is that sheer zeal that I want to do it, that is missing in so many students. That is the reason I said the competition is not that 4 to 5 lakh. It is that serious 50,000 student your competition is. So once you understand that, you know how to go about it. What is your weapon? Your weapon is consistency and discipline. Motivation is the third factor. Motivation cannot be the first factor. So if I have to ask you, if you have to choose between motivation and consistency, which one would you choose? Or motivation and discipline, which one would you choose? Because see, discipline is something that you have to choose. Why do I say that is, see, motivation, today I speak to you, I motivate you, or tomorrow you look at a topper's video, you get motivated, or the third day you look at your parents' problems, you get motivated. So that is called external motivation, and that will stay for a day or two at the most, that's it. But if you want to sustain this journey for 2 years or 2 plus 1 years, then it requires something called as internal motivation. Right? That is nothing but why. So why did you take up UPSC exam? That reason for it, that is where you should start your journey. So if you have to ask you, why did you take up UPSC exam? Okay, what is your answer? Yeah. So as I said, you should start with the reason. And the reason of Gayatri, she says that it's her childhood dream. Her experience staying in a rural area, problems that she has seen. Then?
Sir, it's my destiny.
Destiny. She believes that it's her destiny. Then please others to kindly participate. Give out your reasons. Why have you taken up UPSC exam? Because if that reason is not strong, see, the reason can be anything. I'm not telling this is a good reason, this is a bad reason. I'm not even grading the reasons. I'm saying that whatever reason you have, it should be very strong. Because every time you get demotivated, that reason should actually motivate you. Clear? So, yeah, what are the other reasons? There's so many other people, Deepak, Darshan, Bhagyashri, Mokshita. Please be participative. As I said, keep it as informal. Yeah? Interest. Then?
The respect we get.
Okay. The respect and social status.
Yes.
Then? Anyone else? Fine. See, there's so many reasons. It can be your childhood dream. It can be even your parents' dream, grandparents' dream, your work experience, the difficult times that you have come up with, the problems that you have faced, and you feel that that problem should not be faced by others. Right? Fine. Then it can be your interest here, or this power. I mean, many people do it for power. They say that this is the this power I cannot get it with any other kind of services. So the social status, the respect. There's so many reasons. There can be even, there are reasons like there's a friend of mine who did it for his girlfriend. Fine. So he got selected in 2013 into IRS. It was a childhood love, and in North May there are certain very strict practices that they follow, because of which they were not able to get married. So what happened is, once he cracked this exam, so when his parents, everyone are happy, when the day the results were out, he said, okay, I'm in love with this girl. And the parents did not say anything. In that moment, in that happiness, they agreed to it, and now today they are married. He has even taken an extraordinary leave. He went to US, did his higher education. So these are the other perks that you get with civil services. Even for higher education, they support you, and the profile that you can prepare for Harvard or something, this is the best profile that you can prepare, getting into civil services. So what I'm trying to say is that reason is not like, okay, this is a very small reason, this is a very big reason. The reason can be anything, but you should be very attached to that reason. And every time you're feeling demotivated, as I said, this journey is not going to be smooth. As I said earlier, there will be ups and downs, in the sense that there will be days like you'll be in front of the book, but nothing is getting into your head. Right? The pages will be turning. There will be days like you will not even feel like touching it. You want to just sleep, you want to just take a break. So these are the things that will come. This will be a part of this journey. Right? So these are the times where you should ask yourself, why did I start this journey? So that is the time you will get that motivation. And why do I say discipline should be higher? Okay. So what is the difference between discipline and consistency? We keep hearing these words, right? So what is the difference? Please do answer. Please be participative. Yeah, as I said, or else the essence of the online session will go off. So only if you are participative, the session will be quite enriching. I need to understand what is your thinking, and the thinking can be wrong also. There's no problem with that. But at least I need you to speak up, because in the interview, you need to speak.
Sir, I think both consistency and discipline are interrelated, sir.
Okay.
Without discipline, there is no consistency, and without consistency, there is no discipline.
Okay. Okay, that is partly right. But in ethics, there's a subject called ethics.
Yes, sir.
You know how the questions are asked. What is the difference between sympathy and empathy? Honesty and integrity. Even I can say that honesty is related to integrity, and it is the other way around also. But there will be slight differences between these keywords. So that is the reason these keywords have to be understood, because that will also help you in ethics. Okay. So yeah, now you tell me, anyway, what you said is, I definitely agree to it. Is there a difference is what I am asking. And again, this also gives you an idea of what is the demand of the question. When the question was asked, right, what you said, it is interrelated, all that is fine. But the question was actually asking what is the difference between integrity, consistency and discipline. So always know the answer should be to the question. That is what we do it in mains. We always say the first principle of answer writing is always answer to the demand of the question. What you know is different from what is asked in the question. Please write it down. Please write all this down, because all this, I keep saying all these lines and important words, you have to note it down, because it will help you throughout the exam. Whatever I am giving you in orientation, that will hold good till you clear the exam. That is the reason the important keywords that I stress, the important lines I stress, please make sure that you note it down. You might feel that you will remember it, but it doesn't work out like that. Because even I have done that fault sitting at an institution when I was going for a coaching. Right, I used to think that all this I can remember, it is like I'll be able to remember. But after a week's time, definitely, or even a month's time, definitely you would have forgotten. Yeah, whoever said that answer, yeah, can you please give me the difference?
So discipline is about doing things on time, and consistency is to make sure things are done oftenly, like until we reach our destination, we have to do it regularly.
Yeah, who was that? Bhagyashree, is it?
Purvika.
Purvika, you were right. Of course, it is discipline is more to do with, say, for example, I have to wake up at 6 o'clock, I have to do this work. So sticking to the time and doing the work, because punctuality is probably only time, it is related to time. So discipline is basically, you have a timetable that 8 to 10 you have to study, so you'll wake up and you'll sit there, you'll study for 8 to 10. Consistency is, if you're waking up at 8 o'clock, every day you have to do it, doing the same thing over and over again. So that is the reason there's very slight difference, as one more student said, rightly put, it is interrelated, but you have to ask me the micro difference, this is the difference. So doing the same thing again and again over 2 years. Say if I'm studying for 6 years, I'm studying for, 6 hours a day. I'm studying for 6 hours for the next 2 years or 2 plus 1 years. That is called consistency. Right? So these two factors play a very, very important role than anything else. Clear? So the reason should be very strong. That will keep you motivated. Fine. So yeah. Apart from this, is there any other thing that will help you to crack the exam in your very first attempt? What are the things that we discussed till now? How can I crack this exam in your first attempt? Yeah. Yeah, somebody who started. Yeah. 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 So one is reason. You need a strong reason. The reason can be anything, but that reason should be very close to your heart. The reason should be very close to your heart. Fine. Then? Yeah, belief, confidence. I'll put all these adjectives under one thing. You need that self-belief, confidence. You need discipline. You need consistency. All this under one. Then what else? We discussed an important thing. Apart from your self-belief, your confidence, your dedication, discipline, consistency, other thing is you need to have patience or perseverance. These two P's are also very important. So the question is, what are the things that you require to crack this exam in your very first attempt? Apart from that, what else do you need? Yeah, that is nothing but you need to understand the demand of the exam. Yeah, when you say pattern, everything falls under demand of UPSC exam. That is what I said, understand the exam process, demand of UPSC. Then anything else? Anything else? Apart from this three, anything else? Please note it down as well. Yeah. Somebody was trying to tell. Yeah. All this comes in the second point. Belief, confidence, hard work, dedication, consistency, patience, perseverance. You have different adjectives. All this comes under this part, second one. Anything else there that you need?
No.
You need to understand who is a bureaucrat as well. You need to understand, one is the exam. You need to also know what would be your career once you crack this exam. Because that is where you will start thinking on those lines. You should believe that you are already in service. You should believe that you are already an IAS or an IPS. And you should start thinking from the ground realities, or else it will not work out. Say for example, there is a lot of traffic jam. You are stuck in a traffic jam. So if you are, an administrator there, how would you be thinking? How do you make sure that the traffic jam is reduced? Bangalore is said to have the highest traffic jams. They spend a lot of time in the traffic. So how are you going to reduce it? Say for example, Kaveri issue. If I look at it, you ask even a provisional store guy, they'll be telling you what is the issue. You ask your parents, they'll tell you the issue. So where is that? What is the difference that a civil servant will make? That is the reason I've put here, qualities or role of a bureaucrat becomes equally important. Apart from understanding the exam, you should also understand what is the career, what is the role of a civil servant that you will be playing in the future. Yeah, so as a civil servant, what difference will you make with respect to Kaveri issue? Everybody is talking about problems and everybody knows what is the issue. What else is the difference here?
Sir, how do you solve the problem?
Yeah, very good. The solution oriented person is what is required here. How do you solve the problem? Right, as I said, even a provisional store guy will know what is the issue, but only the civil servant is what you will be thinking about the solution. So this Kaveri issue, let us take this example, Kaveri issue. When does this Kaveri issue happen and between which state it happens?
Tamil Nadu and Karnataka.
Yeah, the Kaveri is a river water issue between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Okay, so why is this issue happening? Let us understand, answer from the general knowledge. I am not even saying you should have read newspaper, all that. You know that issue, right, in general. From that perspective, let us understand. Because your civil services or whatever you study is very much connected to people around you. It is very much connected to the problems around you. It is not just bookish knowledge that will help you to crack this exam. You should be able to understand and empathize with the problems of the people, and then it will be easier for you to crack this exam or give a solution to it. And that is why this is another important quality that is required to crack this exam in your very first attempt. You cannot say that I'll study properly, I'll just be busy with the books, and then once I clear the exam, I'll go to the training and then I'll understand how to solve it. Of course, they'll train you, equip you, but you should understand what is the roles and responsibilities of a bureaucrat. Right, only then, because when you are writing answers, that will come out in your answers. When you say an answer in the interview, that will come out in your interview. Then they'll understand this person is a matured person and they'll give you 190 plus or 200 plus in the interview. And that is what will get you in the top 50 ranks. When you are giving the exam also, you cannot be saying, okay, I'll somehow get into the service. It should not be like that. Your aim should be getting into the top 10 or top 50 ranks. With that aim, you should start your journey. And every time you fall demotivated, you should ask, okay, what I'm doing right now, will it help me to get that rank 50 or top 50 ranks? So that is why I say the competition is huge, because in terms of this consistency, because of discipline. Yeah, coming back to this role or qualities of a bureaucrat. Okay, coming back to this Kaveri issue, what is this issue about and when does this issue happen? Does it happen throughout the year or only in specific time of the year? How? Yeah, the issue happens only during the scarcity of water, when there is less water, right? And what can be the solution? Forget about what the Supreme Court has said, what High Court has said. I'm not even talking about that. What can be the solution from your perspective? Say, suppose you are an IAS officer there are two people fighting. How would you solve it?
So we can divide the water for Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. both states we need a few.
No, but on what basis will you divide? Of course, you have to divide. Because if you know, the water starts from Karnataka, but it eventually flows into Tamil Nadu and the right and the east coast. But you know, the major flow area, is it in Karnataka or Tamil Nadu?
Tamil Nadu.
Tamil Nadu, right? So all these are there. These are the facts. But you tell me what would be the solution for this issue, Karnataka issue. I mean the Kaveri issue.
Sir, I think we need to have multiple view approach, sir.
Good enough.
Both sides, there would be a pros and cons. So we need to analyze every aspect of that.
Definitely. You're talking more about the analysis part. Of course, before arriving at the solution, that analysis part is important. So what is the solution, do you think? What would be the solution? If you had to decide, on what basis would you decide, and what can be the suggestions that you would recommend? Say you have given that responsibility. You are there's a committee. What is your name, by the way?
Sir, Deepak.
Deepak, yeah, Deepak. So let us set up a committee called as Deepak Committee. I'll give you all the resources. Now you come up with a recommendation, suggestion to the government. See, why am I asking this is because this is how the questions are asked in the interview. And you need to develop that acumen. You have to develop that personality right from day one. That is the reason, apart from these three reasons, apart from your very strong reason that is close to your heart, apart from all these key words which are very important to stay on track, and apart from understanding the demand of the exam, understanding the role of bureaucrat is equally important, because you will start thinking on those lines. Ultimately, you cracking the exam depends on the thought process that you develop. Clear? Yeah, Deepak.
Discussion should be made from Karnataka farmers and Tamil Nadu farmers.
Okay.
They can not only in political way, they should also discuss and make clarify.
Okay, that is fine. You tell me, suppose you want to suggest to the government, what are the recommendations would you give? Say, let us say you give 3 recommendations. What are those 3 recommendations?
So we can store water.
Yeah, good. Who was that?
Mokshita.
Mokshita, yeah. Storage of water.
Then we can encourage rainwater harvesting.
Storage of water. So all these are water conservation methods. I'll put it as water conservation methods. Is that fine? So you have to understand the keyword, major keyword, then you will break it down. So that is how you will write mains answer. So water conservation. Yeah. Water conservation, storage and rainwater harvesting. Then yeah, then any other reason? I mean, any other solution?
Sir, while forming a committee, like after the formation of the committee, I
Yeah.
analyze the 2 things, sir, like what is the cost and what are the impacts. So based on the cost may be water scarcity. So due to scarcity, we can conserve water, but there is an impact of, loss of food crops or something. So for that impact, we can establish a tribunal between both states.
Yeah.
So both states can come into an agreement that during the crop season, they may allow the flow of water to Tamil Nadu or like that. So,
Now, if you are allowing, say, first of all, there is scarcity of water. When there is scarcity of water and you are allowing it to only Tamil Nadu, what will people from Karnataka do?
I said like only during the seasons of crop season,
Mm.
like only the times of the requirement.
See, cropping season is throughout the year. Cropping season is throughout the year. Everybody says throughout the year we need to grow crops one way or the other.
So we can initiate some awareness programs like save water or for the farmers. Use what is required
Okay.
in urban areas where there is more wastage of water.
Okay. You know, there's mandatory that I think the water should be used only for drinking purpose. I think there's a mandate already for that. Apart from that,
We have to divide the both states and depending on that population and land area, depending on that to divide the
Depending on geography, divide the water. Then anything else? One more strong reason, I mean solution you can give here. You know what kind of crops that people, I mean Tamil Nadu farmers grow, which is a water intensive crop. Rice is a water intensive crop. So shift in cropping pattern, shift in less water intensive crops. So these are different reasons that you can think of. So this is also enough. See, for you at this stage, even if you can think of this reason is enough. So water conservation is a very strong reason here. That can be the solution, because the problem is water scarcity. So what you will do is water conserve. Conserve water. When there's a lot of rainfall, create more of dams so that the water is stored. Right, that will also help you to rejuvenate rainwater. And also you can, there's something known as grey water. Grey water is nothing but reused water. Can it be used for crops is what we have to look into. And that is why, and it should be only used for drinking purpose. Right? And majority of them grow rice at that area where the Kaveri water crosses from Karnataka to Tamil Nadu, and that is a very water intensive crop. So can we create that awareness and advise the farmers to shift from water intensive crops to less water intensive crops? So these are different solutions that you can give. So what I'm trying to say is, any problem that you look, always try to analyze the problem. As somebody, I think Deepak rightly put, I will understand what is the cause and what is the impact. So that is nothing but problem analysis. After the problem analysis, your solution. And that is what you write in mains answer. What is in introduction is nothing but your basic understanding of the issue you will write. In body, you will write what are the problems, different kind of problems, what is it, how it is impacting, what is the cause, what is the consequences, everything comes in the body. And finally in the conclusion is nothing but the solution part. What is the solution? If there's a committee recommended, what it has recommended. If Supreme Court has given a clean verdict, what is the Supreme Court given a verdict on? Or what are the best practices? Because this river water issue is not only between Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. It is between riparian states. We call it as riparian states. That is nothing but water flowing from one higher state to a lower state. In terms of geography, I am talking about. These are called riparian states. So the water issue is there. So you need to understand what was the best practice that were followed there. Can I give it as a solution here? So please try to analyze. Say ultimately, the difference between a topper and a person who is not clearing prelims for 6 attempts. What do you think is the difference? Do you think the sources are a difference? Is it the book that they read is a difference? The books will still remain the same. I'm telling you, there's no much difference in the books that people read. Be it this 4 lakh people or this 40,000 or 50,000 people or the top 1,000 students. It is the same set of books. Say if I look at standard books, it would be the same Lakshmikant for polity, it would be the same Spectrum for history. It's same NCERTs for geography. So there's no difference there. The resources are the same. But what is the difference then between a topper and a student who is not able to clear prelims at all in 3 attempts, 4 attempts? The way of understanding, the how you read, that is what I have written here. See, what to read, what to not read, you will understand it from the syllabus and PYQs. That is the reason I stress so much on that, because what not to read plays an important role here. Because or else what will happen is everything you look into a newspaper, every time you look into a book, you feel like you have to read from page 1 to page end. Even in a book you can be selective. Even in a newspaper you can be selective. You don't have to read a newspaper from page 1, the first article till the last article. Or say some thick book you get. It doesn't mean that you have to read from page 1 to page end. For that, you need to understand the syllabus properly. You need to understand the PYQs properly. Then you will understand what to read and what not to read. The difference between a topper and a person who is not able to clear is because it is here, how to read. It is here. This plays a very important role. So one example we just discussed now, Karnataka issue, how do I discuss, how do I think? Ultimately it is on your thought process. How do you think? That makes the final difference. If I have to give you one more example, how many of you know, have heard or know about Akbar? All of you know, right? We would have read it in our school days, 8th standard, right? In NCERT book or whichever book we are reading, we would have read about Akbar, be it even state syllabus or the NCERTs or the ICSE books, right? So, Akbar, we would have read about Akbar. The same Akbar we will be reading in UPSC also during the Mughal rules, right? So, there's somebody who is an 8th standard kid who is reading about Akbar, and there's somebody as a UPSC aspirant who is reading about Akbar. So, how old is this 8th standard kid?
13 years.
Thir-
14 years.
13 years. On an average, somebody who is taking up UPSC will be around 23 years, right? The age difference is, but still you are reading about the same Akbar, and you will be reading from the same book. In fact, you will be reading the same NCERT book. You would have read in your 8th standard. Now again you are taking up the same NCERT. You are reading about Akbar. But what kind of questions are asked in 8th standard? What kind of questions are expected in 8th standard?
One word question or one sentence question.
I mean, what can you tell me the question? Yeah.
Akbar, mother name, father name.
Yeah. Basically, okay, it can be Akbar's father's name, right? Akbar's son's name. That is one part of questions. Then what other questions can you expect in 8th standard?
At what time he became a dynasty did he rule?
Fine. Then dynasty ruled.
How many years he was king? How he died? Where he died?
Okay. Apart from that,
Only these many questions.
no, there are even questions like, at the most, even in NCERT, CBSE, ICSE syllabus, they would have asked what is Akbar's role in India's art and architecture? Okay, or what is Akbar's role in India's art and architecture? That can be also a question asked. And this something new that Akbar introduced. It was called Mansabdari system. It was something new he had introduced. So that can also be a question. And at the most they can be asking, okay, what is this Mansabdari system? It is nothing but the civil and the military parts were put under one head. That is nothing but the army and an IAS officer's role. It was put under one head for a small area that he was governing, right? Depending on the number of horses he had, all that. So that is called Mansabdari system. So these are the kind of questions that you will get in 8th standard. So what kind of questions can you expect in UPSC when you are reading about Akbar? There would be some basic questions that can come in UPSC also. Apart from that, what are the other questions that you would expect on Akbar in UPSC?
Sir, about his contribution to India or the
Yeah, about his contribution to India or
book which he had written.
book written by Akbar. Fine, that can come in your prelims. Then anything else?
How Akbar policies that impacted the Mughal rule.
Good enough. Akbar's policies that impacted the Mughal rule, that is also good enough. Then
Sir, social and economic life during this time.
social and
Economic life during this time.
during his time, that is also good enough. See, you're all able to get that point. That is what I'm happy about, right? So you are able to understand things. Then what are the other questions?
Mughals art and architecture.
Akbar's role in art and architecture.
Yes.
Fine. Then
At what time, they will ask the years and particular years, like how he fought against the Hindu king, at what year.
no. Those questions have gone. Those questions will not come nowadays. If you look at the last 10 years paper and all, that dates and all is not much asked. Right, and apart from that, there was something known as, he had come up with this system or an institution known as Ibdat Khana. It is a place where people from different religion used to come and debate. Okay, so it was basically a kind of secularism. So the question can be, what was Akbar's role in bringing unifying the country? or what was Akbar's role in bringing secularism to the country. So these are the points that you can give. So that is what I'm saying. See, the difference between a topper and a person who is not able to clear is the application of thoughts. Just not reading the points. How do you apply according to the demand of the question? That's a very important trait for a student of UPSC. Or even Mansabdari system was introduced way back then. They can ask you what is the relevance of Mansabdari system to the present times. Can we put both army power and the civil, the revenue collection power under one head? Is it possible today? So all these are questions that you should ask yourself and start thinking. That is what is the most ultimate difference that a topper can make from the rest of the crowd. So you should start analyzing that way. You should ask questions to yourself. This is called analysis. Getting it. And how do you get that? Again, going back to the PYQs and syllabus. The PYQs will tell you what kind of questions were asked on Akbar or Mughal rule in the last 10 years, 15 years. You will get an idea on that. So whenever I am studying, what I would have done is, if I am reading about fundamental rights, fundamental duties today, I'll go to PYQs, both prelims and mains of last 10 years. I'll see, because now, so you see, now you'll get books also which are segregated according to topic wise. Forget about subject wise, it is topic wise. All fundamental rights questions, last 20 years questions are put under one. So that is how the compilations are come out. You can get those books. And before reading the topic, just go through those questions. You'll get an idea, okay, what kind of questions were framed. So you will be able to analyze it properly. You will be able to think clearly. Clear? So this is the major difference that you should all understand. How to read. So we have taken two examples. One is Kaveri issue, and we have also taken the other is, what do you say? Yeah, Akbar ka thing. Right, so this topic, how do I analyze it from 8th standard perspective and how do I analyze it from UPSC perspective? Am I clear? Any doubts here? Or any doubts till now? So this is a very important point. Please note it down and start doing it from day one. So once I come to time management, I'll tell you how do you read a topic. So for example, or else even if I have to explain it right now. So since we are discussing on how to read, so what I'll do in a class, say for example today, again I'll go back to that, say today is parliament topic. So today in the class, there's a session on parliament that will be taken today. So what I'll do is, I'll go through all the, like say even 10 years is enough, prelims and mains, which is already consolidated at one place. I'll take that book, I'll go through that questions, both prelims and mains perspective. Then I'll sit in the class. Then I'll be able to connect, and I'll be able to ask questions to the faculty. Right set of question is very important. Then after that, after the class, I'll just recollect what has been done in the class for the 10 minutes, and I'll just write the key takeaways of today's class. It can be 3 points, it can be 5 points, or it can be 10 points. So every day after the class, please make a note of it. The key takeaways of today's class. Right, then there'll be a daily test also, practice test, a few questions will be given, both prelims and mains perspective. So you have to use it that way. Clear? And then once certain topics are covered, there'll be a weekly or a fortnightly test. So once you take up the test, that will tell you what is your understanding, whether your understanding is in line with UPSC. Because when I read a topic, I always feel that I've understood it well. I know the topic very well. But is it in line with respect to UPSC? Every time I have to understand, is it in line with UPSC? That is where you are touching the demand of the exam. The difference is not in the books. It is not about understanding the demand of UPSC exam. That is where the failure happens. If you are not able to understand the demand, then that is where everything goes haywire. You will start spending 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You should understand that 20 to 30 years is a very precious age for you. Isn't it? Because that is the age where immense energy goes in. At the same time, that is the age where a lot of distraction also happens. The distraction can be in terms of sports, TV, movies, boyfriends, girlfriends, right? It can keep going on. Social media, there are a lot of distractions. I of course understand it's very difficult to curtail that distraction, but there's no other go. There are certain sacrifices that have to be made. Even social media can be, I'm not even saying that you should not use social media at all. Use it wisely, or use it only for specific purposes only. Right? Social life is equally important. Okay, but see, what I'm trying to say is, it's all about how intelligently you're using the social media here. Just one sec. Yeah. So understanding how to read plays a very important role in this exam. And what was I telling you before that? We were discussing some other topic. I just forgot. I think time management. I mean, the way you will be reading. So before coming to the class, you'll go through the PYQs. Then you'll read the topic. Then after, I mean, you'll go through the PYQs. Then you'll sit in the class. After that, write down 3 key takeaways or 5 key takeaways or 10 key takeaways of the class. Then take a test, and that will tell you are you in line with the demand of the exam. At every topic that you're reading, are you in line with the demand of UPSC? Are you in line with the demand of UPSC? And as a bureaucrat, every time you need to look into the solutions. You need to know what is the understanding, what is the basic understanding, what are the problems associated. Say, for example, the recent terrorist attack that has happened. So, why did this terrorist attack happen? On what basis did it happen? It was purely based on religion. So, that is why there is a strong condemnation on what has happened there. Then, and also we have to look into where the security lapses also from Indian side. How did they directly get into that place so freely? Right? So, you need to ask questions that way. So, that comes under internal security problems, border issues. So, that is part of which syllabus, which part of which paper? GS 1, 2, 3, 4, which part does it come under internal security? GS 3. So, that is how you have to link what is happening around you is everything related to your GS 1, 2, 3 and 4. That is why I am saying anything demonetization happens. So, first you need to understand how did it impact your family? How did it impact your neighbors, society as a whole? How did it impact each state or probably the nation as a whole? So, that is how you need to see. You need to be connected to what is happening in and around you. Then UPSC becomes very interesting. Or else you'll feel that there's a lot of syllabus. Today I have to read this subject, tomorrow I have to read this topic, day after tomorrow I have to read, and it's a never-ending process. This is what you will feel. Of course, it is quite vast, but you should start enjoying it. How do you start enjoying? You need to be connected to what is happening around you. Then you will be more curious about what is happening around you. Why is this happening? You need to have that curiosity of a child to crack this exam. Once you have that curiosity, automatically everything will fall in place. You will be starting asking questions for everything that is happening around. What are the issues here? What steps can be taken to solve this issue? This is the mindset in which you should go, because your entire mains answer rating is based on that. Your entire interview is they'll directly ask you, if you were the army general, if this attack has happened, what steps would you have taken here? Would you have taken steps whatever the government is presently taking, would you have agreed for a ceasefire? Or would you have gone for attack? So, these are the questions that they ask you in interview. So, that tells the maturity level of that person. And that cannot happen in just 2 months after mains exam. It should happen from day 1 of the exam. Your personality will start changing. Say, what I can assure you is, whether ultimately you will clear this exam or not, it's very difficult to predict. But this will completely, one thing I can promise you is, this exam will completely change your personality. The Mohan I was, say, 10 years back and the Mohan I am today is a completely different Mohan. And all courtesy, it is because of UPSC. I used to give this CAT exam. In fact, I got 99 percentile plus also in CAT exam. CAT exam is a very tough exam, as you all know, for MBA, if I have to get into IIT, IIMs and all. But the most fearing factor for me was that group discussion. So, every time the group discussion used to happen, I was to take one step back. Okay. So, because I did not know what to speak and how to speak, because though my English was good, the problem was not with my language, the problem was with my knowledge. I did not know how to debate, discuss, or I do not know how to put my points across. So, but that was completely changed. In fact, in my third year of engineering, we had to submit a project and we had to explain what is there in the project. That's it. So, that was the project done by me. So, all that I had to do is go there and speak about my project. So, when I went on stage and there were students, the students who were sitting opposite to me were my own classmates. Right? So, when I went there, though I had done my own project, I was not able to utter a word. So, don't think that language is a barrier. Language is never a barrier. Though you might have Yeah? Somebody spoke just now. Anyway, language is not a barrier at all. Clear? What I'm saying is, the problem is whether you have that courage to go and speak on stage. That is a problem. And UPSC will give you that confidence. And today I can stand in front of, I've spoken in front of 1,500 students, all that. So, this UPSC will give you that energy, UPSC will give you that knowledge, UPSC will give you that confidence, and ultimately this will change your personality. Okay, one more question. Why do you think there are so many people, I mean, from all, there are doctors, I've seen there's a MD, there are specialized doctors who crack this exam. He's an IPS today. My very own student, I don't want to mention his name, is from Karnataka itself. He got Karnataka cadre also. So there are people like that. So why do you think there are people who are so crazy about this exam? There are people from IITs, IIMs, top notch. You name any premier schools and colleges in entire India, there are people who are there. You know, there are people who have given exam from US. I mean, they are preparing from that. I mean, not the exam from US, they are preparing from US. They come here, give the exam. You know, why do you think there are so many people behind this UPSC exam?
Sir, because the government is providing a lot of facilities to the officers, sir.
I can buy that facilities through money also, no?
But
If I say, for example, I run a startup, I run in crores. Don't you think that double the facility? Okay, what about Ambani?
no, sir.
So he has that facility, every floor he has those facilities. Everywhere he goes, he has his own security. So why are people so mad about these services? Why don't I do a business, earn in crores and be happy in my life? Why are people so mad about UPSC exam?
Sir, when I buy this facilities by my money, sir,
Hmm.
that will be not big as provided in case, because they think it them with lots of love and respect and support. Here it's not like that. They may work here, or after 1 month they can join other.
Yeah, very good. Very good. In fact, the work that they do is a lot of love and affection. I'll go to that. I'll give you a very practical example also where I have seen that. Okay. So apart from that, why are people so mad about UPSC?
Sir, working hours.
Yeah.
Working hours.
What working hours?
Doctors, engineers, they have to work every day. I mean, like, there's no timing barrier. But here, 10 to 5 o'clock, we should be in office and with a lot of responsibilities.
Oh, really? Which service are you talking about? Huh?
10 to, sir.
Very good. That is the reason I said you need to understand who is a bureaucrat. Right? So that why was I stressing on certain things is because you need to understand all that. Okay, who is a bureaucrat according to you?
Sir,
Yeah.
sir, since from the British time, the services gained immense value, sir. Like even people, especially the native people, saw how the officers were,
Mm-hmm.
and the respect they gained in the society, especially since from the British time.
Okay.
So, since from the past, it gained a huge value. That the impact it created in the society.
Okay. So basically you're trying to tell me that there's a huge respect that you get because of which people are mad. Of course, I agree to it. The power you get, the respect you get, the social status you get. Of course, that is why people are crazy about UPSC. That is one of the reasons, right? And what Gayatri said also was rightly put, that the kind of, I mean, the facilities that is provided and the kind of love and affection in which they do it for you, that cannot be got through the money that you can spend on people. That is also true. Then, any other reasons why people are mad? And after that, I'll come to your thing, Shweta, wherein we'll discuss who is a bureaucrat. If I miss out, just remind me on that. Yeah. Second, then any other reasons? Any other reasons?
So, job security.
Job security and job satisfaction. Nowadays, even if you're that job security also will go off in a few days or a few years, and that we have seen. In the sense, when people are corrupt, they are outrightly dismissed. They are forced to retire. All that has happened. So if you're honest, you're working, of course the job security is always there. And most importantly, the job satisfaction that you get, that nobody mentioned. Right? One sign of yours can make a huge difference to the entire district, to the lakhs of people there. You making sure that all the teachers, government school teachers, come on time can make a difference of to thousands and lakhs of students in that district. Because once they start coming on time, then the students will come there. That is the reason midday meal scheme is given, so that food is given. So that is acting as an incentive for them. So there were certain government schools which provided bicycles to girl students. That is again an incentive for them to come to schools and colleges. So these are the different steps that our government are taking to incentivize them to come to schools and colleges. And as I said, you making one strict rule like that can make a huge difference. Right? An IAS officer joining his or her daughter to a government school, that makes a huge difference. How? Because the people who are there in that vicinity or in that area, they'll have that confidence that acha, see, that IAS officer himself is putting his daughter to a government school. Why should not I? And at the same time, the school teachers will also come on time. They'll also be very punctual. They'll take the classes properly because they know that if they don't do it, the daughter will complain to the officer. So that difference it has made. In fact, in 2009, there was one officer, is pretty famous. He's from Karnataka itself. So when he was posted in Mangalore, during his wife's labor time, that is delivery time, he had admitted her to a government hospital itself. Though they were private hospitals, all that, he had admitted to a government hospital, and he became a role model because after that, everybody had that so much of confidence, and even till date, that government hospital is doing so well. So that is you will become a role model to all these people. And the smile that you can see on their face and the satisfaction that you get out of it, that you cannot be matched. In fact, I was selected to my state service. I didn't go. But once I teach, that I am passionate about it, and once my student clears and comes and says, thank you, sir, for all that effort, I am also very happy. So the satisfaction probably I would not have got in that job that I would have gone. So that is the reason I prefer to stay here. So that satisfaction ultimately, after money, after one line benchmark, the next level is satisfaction. Right? That you need to understand. That is why people are so mad about this particular services. They're crazy. They want to get into the service because of that. Clear? Right? And also, the challenges that you get, there's one more reason. Apart from satisfaction, the other reason is some people are very much into challenges. They want to see those challenges, overcome those challenges. See, one point, if you are in DC of a district, one time you will be, at one end you will be interacting with, say, World Trade Organizations important people with respect to agriculture policies, subsidies, should we cancel it or not. At the same time, you will be interacting with farmers here who are sitting in front of your office on strike. That subsidies, we should not abide by what WTO policies come, that is World Trade Center policies, World Trade Organization policies. So there will be two different groups. You have to interact with them and you have to come up with proper policy suggestions to the government. So these are the challenges. There will be in fact, there will be two upper caste and lower caste who wants to enter the temple. The upper caste people are not allowing the lower caste to enter the temple. You are the DC of the district. What actions would you take? So these kind of real problems you will see through the civil services. That is the reason I say, apart from reading the books, also be aware of what is happening in and around you, because your answers, you will be dealing with that. You will write examples of what is happening in and around you in the mains answers or even in the interview answers. Clear? So these are the reasons why people are so mad about UPSC. That is one part of it. Now coming to Shweta's question, discussion on who is a bureaucrat. If I have to give you examples, for example, the SP of a district, is he a bureaucrat or not? SP, that is an IPS officer of a district, is he a bureaucrat or not? Yeah? Is a bureaucrat. DC of a district?
Yes, sir.
Secretary of a district or a department? Yeah?
No.
Secretary of a department.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Constable?
No, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, this is where the understanding comes, the clarity comes. See, anybody who is working for the government, either from Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, for the people, are called bureaucrats. It can be the constable, all this, no, the group C, group D people are called the cutting edge bureaucrats. Though we don't refer them as bureaucrats in nomenclature or in general, we call them as cutting edge bureaucrats. Okay, because these are the people who are directly in touch with people. The SP of a district does not come in direct touch with people every day, or the DC of district also, not every day, every moment. There will be peons, there will be that clerk level, all that. They are the ones who are directly in touch with people. They are called cutting edge bureaucrats. So you need to understand that who is a bureaucrat that way. You should have a holistic understanding of it. Though whenever we mention bureaucrats in newspapers or anywhere, usually we refer to like a DC of a district or SP of a district or secretary of a department, right? We chief secretary, we usually mention it, we think that way. But actually the definition of a bureaucrat starts from that. Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, all the way. Clear? So clarity of thoughts is very important in this exam. So that was the reason I was asking you the difference between discipline and consistency. So again, everything boils down to that clarity of thoughts. Am I clear? Any doubts till now?
No, sir.
Any doubts till now?
No, sir.
Okay. Again, just run through these slides because all this we have discussed. The secret of success, just certain pictorial representations given here. So, among all these three people, Virat Kohli is known for, known as the best cricketer in, in the cricket field. Modi as a politician, Ambani as a businessman. So, what do you think is common among all the three? So, that is what I mentioned. Secret of success. Is there any formula among all the three?
Yes, sir. Dedication. Continuous dedication.
It is discipline and consistency again. The same, see, I've repeated those keywords at least 20 times in my just a lecture of 1-2 hours. So that actually should tell you how important is these two keywords in your preparation as well. Not only this, why have I taken different fields? Because that keyword applies to every field, even in my field. If I'm not consistently uploading the everyday posts, if I just don't do it for even a week's time, I'm gone. There are other competitors who will take my place. I have to work every day. If I'm working for 12 hours, I have to work every day for like that for the next, throughout my, the business period, because that is how the competition is. And this formula, that consistency and discipline is the same formula for every field. The Virat Kohli who had come initially, have you seen him as a child who had entered cricket, international cricket? He was a chubby Virat Kohli. And the kind of Virat Kohli that we see today, there's so much of discipline. Right, so much, he's so well, fitness has created that level. So that is the reason I think, the health factor also you should look into it. All of you are at a very prime age, please take care of your health as well. Clear? So this is the thing that is common. The discipline is the word that is common among all of them. The nation wants to know, what do you mean by this? You know who this person is?
No, sir.
Huh? Fine. He is more famous for the controversial things, and he owns his own news channel, all that. So what do you mean by this symbol? What is the word that can come here? See, all these are more of visualization. I'm just making you think through the pictures. If you look at this image, what is that right word that can come here? Do you dash UPSC? There was this song also, no, Pupendra's song. I don't know how many of you speak or watch Kannada movies, but there was this Kannada movie wherein that song goes, I dash you. I dash you, it goes like that. Upendra's song, one of the songs. So you need to fill it up just like that. Do you dash UPSC? And this symbol will tell you that right word. What is the word here? When you look at this symbol, nobody can think of any word here.
Sir, it's a burning desire.
Yeah.
I think
Very good. You should have that burning desire to crack UPSC exam. Do you have that in you is what I'm trying to portray in this through this slide. The burning desire to crack that UPSC exam. Then is a symbol of what? Yeah?
The wall.
Wall. Again, consistency, discipline, determination, patience, perseverance. You can come up with different attributes. See, these pictures will give you those keywords. Please write it down. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Every picture here conveys. The first one we spoke about discipline. This person talks about every keyword that you can think of that is required for the exam. The second slide talks about, do you have that burning desire, that burning reason in you to stay motivated for the next 2 years or 2 + 1 years to crack this exam. Fine. This one. What does this picture tell you? What does this picture tell you? Very good. Who was that? Gayatri, is it? Very good. Because this particular answer, no, in so many batches that I've taken, I mean, none of them actually have given me the right word. Okay, and here Gayatri gave me the right word. It's common sense, because in this picture, if you look at it, he's sitting on the other side and he's trying to cut. What will happen if he does it?
He will fall.
He will only fall. And here what is happening?
He will only break the wall. He's breaking the wall.
Yeah, then?
Will be caught again.
See, you know what is happening is, once he has broken the wall, what he should be doing? And what is he doing here?
He's putting AC there, sir.
Yeah, he should have gone out, no? That is a bigger freedom, right? Freedom is the most important thing that we all ask for, right? So once he knows that there's a space here, he can run out. Instead of running, he's trying to fix a AC and he's sleeping here. So that is not, so again, all these are common sense. Why I tell you, please note down, common sense plays a very important role, be it in prelims, mains or interview. All the 3 stages, this common sense plays a very important role. Right? In fact, the common sense is what will help you in elimination also. For example, there was question in UPSC which said, lead is used in, the first statement said, consider the following statement. Lead is used in pencil was one of the statement. Then lead is used in cosmetics. Okay, third statement said lead is poisonous. And there was one more statement, 4 statements. Then the question was, which of the above statement is right? So what do you think is right? See, for this again, you should not, it's not like you will read and you will answer all this. This comes with pure common sense. So there's one statement which says lead is used in pencil, lead is used in cosmetics. The other statement says lead is poisonous. Then there's 4th statement. Okay, forget about the 4th statement. In these 3 statements, which statement is right? Or is all the statements right?
All the statements are right.
Okay, if you're saying all the statements are right, if lead is poisonous, do you think that can be used in pencil? Because pencils are something that kids keep it in their mouth.
Yes, sir.
And if it is poisonous, do you think they'll create lead pencils like that? So common sense should tell me that lead is something that the kids keep it in their mouth. So obviously it should not be poisonous. And if it is used in cosmetics also, see, something that is used in your, in your mouth or onto your lips or onto your face, it cannot be poisonous. Right? If that is the case, then people will get affected. It is harmful for them to use it. So that should clearly tell me that that statement is wrong. Lead can be used in pencil, it can be used in cosmetics also, that can be right. But lead is poisonous, that statement is wrong. Right? So using your common sense, you can eliminate. And also there was one statement which said, consider the following statement. India imports 90% of its coal requirement from other countries. Is this statement right or wrong? Okay, probably I think since you have not read geography, I don't think you'll be able to answer. But again, the common sense tells me that, see, common sense with basic knowledge, I'm trying to link it with that. India has a lot of coal reserves. India is the richest coal reserves. So much of coal reserves are found in India. So when so much of coal reserves are found in India, we will not import so much. Fine. So what I'm trying to tell you is these are commonsensical questions that can be created. There are many like that. In fact, I've done video on this called KCT approach, knowledge, common sense and elimination technique. So there I've discussed all such questions there. So common sense plays a very important role not only in prelims but also in mains, because usually in mains, what is happening is they'll give you a technical term in the first statement. The second statement, they give you a clue to the first part. So there was a case called as Coelho case, which not many students had read about it. But the second part, which it was connecting to 10th schedule, that gave a clue to what is this Coelho case all about. So you need to be smart enough to pick up questions like that. Again, common sense plays an important role. Not only there, even in interview as well. Interview, though, a lot of times common sense will come to your rescue. So this common sense factor plays a very important role in all the three stages, and you will understand it as you go with your preparation. Coming to this common sense, there was one more example I'm not able to recollect at this moment. There was this question asked, how many petrol bunks are there in Bangalore? So if this kind of question is asked, how will you answer? How many petrol bunks are there in Bangalore? How can you answer such questions? Anybody can try.
There are so many that they can fulfill the demands of people.
Okay, good way of answering. Anything else? Any logical answer for this? Actually, no, there's a rule that which says for every 2 kilometers or 3 kilometers there should be a petrol bunk, something on those lines. Okay, what you can do is you can take the area of Bangalore and divide it by 2. That will give you the number of petrol bunks. That is how it can be answered. So these are basic things that, there's no particular number. What I'm trying to tell you is such questions, you'll not have a finite numbers. Even the person who is asking you will not have the numbers. Even you will not know the numbers. It's no more about how that presence of mind you can think through and you can tell. Clear? What does this say?
Run with the time.
Yeah, basically time management. Time management plays a very important role. Your day-to-day daily schedule, how should it be like? If you ask me, after your classes, all that, no? It should be like, you have to divide your day into slots. Initially, you can slot with 1 hour slot. Later, it can go on to 1 hour, say 10 minutes or 1 hour 15 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes, 1 hour 45 minutes, 2 hours, like this it can go. Clear? Till 2 hours. I would say you have to sit at a place for 2 hours. Why do I say that? You have to sit at a place for 2 hours and study. Why am I saying that statement?
Because in exam also we should sit for 2 hours.
Yeah, minimum 2 hours in prelims. In mains it is 3 hours. But at least you should develop a stamina to focus for 2 hours. That is the ultimate essence of this practice. But initially, of course, if you look at our school times and all, how many hours was one period?
1 hour. 45 minutes.
45 minutes. It is not 1 hour. It is 45 minutes. Why do you think each period was only 45 minutes? Why do you think each period was only 45 minutes?
Students cannot focus beyond that.
Very good. Yeah, definitely. So that is the maximum time that you can focus. Even 45 minutes is too tough a task actually. So that is the reason. First, you at least make sure that in one slot you put in at least 1 hour. Initially, you can start with 45 minutes, then at least go to 1 hour. After 1 week, you go for 1 hour 15 minutes. Then 1 hour 30 minutes. So slowly keep increasing. So probably in 2 months or 3 months, you can sit at a place for 2 hours. And when I say something, it is not like you will do it from day one. That also you need to understand. It takes a lot of time to get into that zone. So always take it by step. Because as I said, this is a 2-year process. You will have a lot of time. Right? So you have to 1 year before the exam and 1 year once the exam starts. So all that put together is 2 years. So it's like step by step. So you can achieve this in probably 2 months or 3 months. So you need to do it consistent. This is called consistent improvement. This is called consistent improvement. So divide your day into slots like this, and then you study. So in each slot you can put up a different subject, or you can have 2 slots for a subject. That is up to you. That is how time management should be done. Clear? So you divide, say for example, you have a class, so 3 hours class, then you have some doubt clearing, all that. So you divide your day and then do it this way. And then, as I said, always start with PYQs first. Take out PYQs of that particular day's topic, go through it, come and sit in the class. After the class, spend 10 minutes for noting down the key takeaways of that class. Please do it on a daily basis for the next 1 year, or whatever, 9 months or 10 months of class. Please do it for on every day basis. Again, I'm telling you, even though I might say all this, right, how many people will actually do it? That is the biggest question. As I said, there were some 8 to 10,000 people who applied it, and only 800 people turned out to the exam, or say 1,000 people are turned out for the exam. So that is where most of the students falter actually. That is why the competition is not that 4 or 5 lakhs, it is that 40 to 50,000 students. Am I clear here? I've told, see, it's like, that is the reason even in that story, I said that you are the hero or the heroine of the story, not us. Because I might give you 100%. Whatever I promise, I might do it on a daily basis. I do it every day for you and give it for you. But ultimately, it is like you can take the horse to the water, but you cannot make it drink. So it is up to you. So whatever we do is only 10%. Whatever you do is 90%. Whatever, all that you require is simply blindly follow the instructions that is given by the faculties, or by me or any mentor. You will definitely do it. Just keep minimal resources. Why do you think people from rural areas are clearing and people from urban areas are not clearing this exam? There are people, I mean, of course, there are people from both areas, that is also there. But you would be very shocked to see somebody who is done in a local language, in a government school, who has not got good exposure, but still is able to get a rank. Why do you think? Because of focus and minimal resources. He does not have too many things to look into. Right? There was one student of mine, I don't want to mention his name. Their parents still live in a shed. Okay. So he is from North Karnataka and today is an IPS. And I know him since 2019. He was not even able to pay the library fees. So he was in that state. So he had come. So I know him since then because we had developed that connection, and he said, sir, I really don't have money. So can you give me library for 6 months or 1 year? So that permission was given, and finally, you know, today is an IPS. And when he got the rank, when he calls his mother and tells that, I still remember at 1 o'clock the results had come, 1:15, 1:20. So he said that he called his mother around 1:30 to convey that he has cleared. And she just, all that she said is, oh, good that you have cleared, and she just kept the phone. She didn't even realize that this exam is so big and his son, our son has got into such a big exam. So the mother is not even aware of UPSC is what I'm saying. And he had done his schooling from all government schools and colleges, and also he has a stammering problem. So during the interview he was finding it very difficult to present his views. So in that great difficulty he has come and cleared, he has got IPS. And only when his mother was surrounded by the nearby village people, the media came. You know how media works. All that they want is TRP, right? So when the media came and when his mother was surrounded by people there, only then she realized that this is such a big exam. So these kind of people, I mean, people coming from low awareness are the people who are trying to clear, I mean, who are able to crack. If they can crack it, most of you sitting here or listening to this session today, at least come from a better background. Right? So when that is the case, why can't you clear is what you need to ask yourself. And again, all that keywords that I've told, please note it down, stick to it. That is more than enough. You just follow the instructions that are given. You take the classes regularly, and most importantly, take the tests also regularly, because test is the best form of revision. Test is the best form of thinking also. Because when you're reading the question, your mind is going back to what you have read. It's trying to recollect. At the same time, it is making you think. See, when you're reading something, no, it is called passive reading. See, when you read something, when you listen to something, when you see something, all the three are different things. When you read something, the retaining power is only say 10%, 20% of what you read. But when you listen, for example, you're listening to a lecture here, or any of the classes, then it means that retention power is at least 30%. But when you visualize, when you see things, that is the reason, no, You remember even dialogues of movies that you have seen during your childhood days. You remember scenes of those movies that you would have seen in your childhood days because it's pictorially etched in your memory. That is how the human brain also works. So that visualization plays also an important role. When you're reading, you need to visualize things. Clear? So divide your day into that way. PYQs, after PYQs, classes, attend the classes, take the tests regularly. Please take the tests regularly, because I myself have seen so many students who are very, I mean, at least I would say 90% of the students become irregular with the tests. Only 10% stick to what is there in the test. After the test, are you going and meeting the mentor? That is also very important. So after PYQs, classes, 10 minutes on writing the key takeaways, then talking to your mentor here. If you have any doubts or a daily basis, you can talk to your mentor on how your progress is, right? That way, then whatever is done in the class, you need to come home and prepare on that along with current affairs. And later on, your optional also will come into picture. Basically, your entire preparation is done into GS, current affairs, optional, 3 subjects, major subjects. So this is how your day should be like. Divide your day into slots. Start with at least 45 minutes or 1 hour slot. Keep increasing by 15 minutes every week. So 1 hour 15 minutes for the entire week. Next 1 week and 1 hour 30 minutes, like that you need to at least reach 2 hours. This is how time management should happen. And at least a minimum of 6 hours per day apart from your classes, all that. Minimum 5 to 6 hours per day. Make sure that you read for that much of time. Clear? And please keep the test regularly. Take the test, because you will understand what is your level of preparation according to the demand of UPSC exam. That is a very important. Every stage you need to check whether are you in line with demand of UPSC exam. For that, you have to take the test. You have to meet your mentors. Meeting your mentors is a must and should, and our mentors are available in the office from morning 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock. Anytime you can come and approach. There's nothing like you have to book an appointment, then approach, all that. And once you develop a good rapport, you can, all that you can do is you can message your mentor and directly meet them at whatever time you want to. Clear? So make the best use of the facilities that are given. Clear? And IASbaba is known for mentorship. So make the best use of it. And see, resources you can get it anywhere. Right? Classes also you can get it anywhere. Mentorship is something that is unique, and that is something that will guide you in the right direction. This is a long journey. You might miss out, you might deviate from the journey. You might deviate from that route. And the mentor is the one who keeps pushing you, okay, no, come to this route. This is the right path. Don't go away, deviate from your path. And with that help, you will be able to crack it in your very first attempt or second attempt. And other thing that I want to tell you is, see, to the max, you can give 3 attempts while, I mean, you are completely into preparation. After 3 attempts, always keep a plan B open, because I've seen, I've seen there are so many students who come to me after 6 attempts. Either they have not cleared the exam, and they have also reached the age 30, because they would have started somewhere in 23, 24. The biggest problem that students miss out is they are not seeing their age. They are just looking into the attempts that they are giving. So I'm done with 2 attempts, I'm done with 3 attempts, 4 attempts. But by giving 4 attempts, it means you would have spent 5 good enough years. And if you're 24, you'll become 29. That you will not even realize. So that is something that all of you should focus on. And as I said, that 20 to 30 is a very prime age. There's a lot of energy. At the same time, there's a lot of distractions also. It is up to you on how do you use this energy in the right way. Clear? Because this is the time where you'll feel like you can do anything and everything on earth. That is the energy you will have, and you have to channelize it in the right way, or else you will lose out the prime age, and you will not get that back, no matter how many crores you will pay for it. So that is the reason, please make sure your very first attempt is your best attempt. At the most, 2 attempts, right? And if your parents are so supportive, you can still go to 3 attempts, but after that, always look out for plan B. And I'm not telling you to quit. I'm telling you to keep preparing along with your work. Because there are so many working professionals who are clearing, because that gives them that cushioning effect. That financial freedom is so important for a student now. Every time you cannot be asking your parents for every, say, 100 rupees, 500 rupees, 1000 rupees. You will also feel bad. And also it is like, this age, no, you should not be dependent on your parents. That is also there. You have to become independent. You will understand that. You will understand. Some of you might not understand at this point of time, but becoming financially independent is so important for you because it gives you freedom to do what you want to do, what you like to do. So please keep that in mind. See, whenever I'm giving a lecture, whenever I say something, it is not only for your academics or UPSC. It also applies to your personal life. Clear? So please keep that in mind. It's an hard-earned money of your parents. Give respect to it. Give respect to that. Give respect to your age, your time, and please prepare accordingly. Because from our side, we'll definitely, because all that I would like to say is you are in a safe hands. We'll give you the best of the best. You have to make sure what is good for you. And how do you utilize the resources? I'll also be available at any point of time. Your first point of contact will be your mentors. If you're still not satisfied, if you still want more things, you can always reach out to me. Anyway, at the end of the session, I'll be sharing my phone number as well. So anytime, any difficulties, if it is not getting resolved at the first level, you can always reach out to me. Fine. And also, it is not like the other classes that go around. We stress more on this Guru Shishya Parampara. So basically, it is more about the relationship between the student and the mentor or the teacher here becomes very important because both of us have to go hand in hand. Only then the success you can see in your journey, right? So it is not like you are in one category and we are in one category. You are fighting against us and we are fighting against you. It is not like that. Ultimately, as I said, in your success lies our success. Only when you get a rank and you say that, okay, I am from IASbaba, because many of the students here also would have come because of recommendation by other students or other toppers, right? So that is how it works out. So once you are happy, you are successful, we also have that happiness, we'll also become successful. So we will give you the best, but make sure that whatever I'm telling you right now, please follow these instructions. And taking the test is very, very important. After the tests also, whatever you're getting wrong, please sit with the mentor and talk to them why you have gone wrong. More than the subject analysis, it should be like what was going in your mind when you thought B and C as the answer and you eventually marked C. That is what most of the times it happens. You marked C and finally you find that B was the answer. So what was going in your mind when you are thinking about those two options there? So these things are what you have to get it corrected from the mentor. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Any doubts till now?
No, sir.
Any doubts?
No, sir.
So shall we move on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. How do you start your journey? All that I have finished. As I said, the strong reason you need to start your journey with decoding the syllabus. So any other doubts with respect to UPSC, demand of UPSC, all that, so that I'll go to the last part of today's session, that is with respect to understanding the syllabus. That plays a very important role. So after this, tomorrow there will be a newspaper session that will be taken by your mentor, and after that from the third day onwards, the history classes will start off. Clear? And even the first class of history or any subject will not directly get into the subject. It will be more of how do you study history, how many questions have come, how do I have to read, how do I have to think. So we are focusing majorly on that thought process in every session. Every first session of any faculties, anybody who is taking, we will majorly focus on the thought process, and please make sure that you understand the thought process well, because ultimately that is what will help you to crack this exam. And whatever I told you, it might seem simple, it might seem that you would have heard those words time and again, but please note it down and stick to it for the next 2 years. Write it down somewhere. Today's session, every keyword that I've told, every sentences I've made, which you felt were important, please note it down, stick it somewhere, so that every time you look at it, it will give you the direction, because this is called orientation session. Because anytime you are getting deviated, you can always look into this. Anyway, this recorded session will also be available in the portal that will give you. Right, online portal, so you can go back, listen to the session again also, right, whenever you're feeling that you're demotivated, whenever you're feeling that you're missing out on something, right, all that. So any doubts till now?
No, sir.
Okay. No, so decoding the syllabus, how many of you have actually gone through the syllabus? Yeah, not even a single person. Okay, fine. So how many papers do we have? GS papers.
Four.
GS 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? So what is there in paper 1? GS paper 1. I mean, don't tell me every topic. Even if you tell me what are the subjects that are there are 3 subjects in every paper almost. So what are these 3 subjects?
History, geography, art and culture.
Yeah, art and culture is again history for me. It is history, geography and society. History, geography and society is part of GS1. Then GS2? GS2?
Sir, art and culture, politics.
GS2 art and culture. I hope you are preparing for UPSC only.
Sir, polity.
Yeah, polity then.
Sociology.
Sociology is part of paper 1.
The governance and social justice.
Yeah, governance and social justice is is the second part of paper 2. Third part? International relationship. That is the third part of GS2 paper. Then paper 3?
Ethics.
That is paper 4. Paper 4 is ethics. Paper 3?
The science and technology.
Yeah.
Environment.
Science and tech environment is one part of it. Then?
Disaster management.
Yeah, disaster management. That is also part of that science and tech only for me. Then?
Economics.
Economics and agriculture is one part. Science and tech, environment, disaster management and agriculture is one part. Disaster management and internal security is the third part. So these are the 3 parts to GS paper 3. Paper 4 is nothing but ethics. See, now this is macro level. You have to buy out every keyword that is given in the syllabus. There are 20 different topics, and that keyword, every keyword will be further broken down into 3 or 4 levels. So that is how this syllabus has to be dealt. That is the reason I said no, syllabus and PYQs are so important. It is not just looking into it, by-hearting the keywords. It is about understanding the keywords, understanding what is the scope of these keywords. That plays a very important role here. Am I clear? Here, if you read, this is the initial part of the syllabus. This is the actual words taken out from UPSC syllabus. To understand the demand of the exam, it is clearly worded here. See, the questions will be such that to test a candidate's general awareness, okay, of variety of subjects which will have relevance for a career in civil services. That is the reason understanding what is this civil servant, who is a civil servant or a bureaucrat, what is the role and responsibilities, what challenges he would undercome. That is the reason we discussed all that in the orientation session. So there's nothing like out of the box it went or waste of time we have done. Everything that I have done from all the way from 10-20 till now holds a lot of relevance because of this keyword given. It is given in UPSC itself. We'll always stick to what is given by UPSC, not what Mohan said, what IASbaba said, or what XYZ said, or what Topper said. We'll stick to what UPSC says, right? So the questions will test a candidate's general awareness of variety of subjects which will have relevance to a career in civil services. The questions are likely to test the candidate's basic understanding, ability to analyze and take a view on conflicting issues. These are the 3 parts. First part, second part, third part. Am I clear? First and second, third part. This is nothing but your prelims, your mains, your interview. Your opinions, your views are what is tested in your interview. Your ability to analyze is what is tested in mains. Again, mains and interview can be an interrelated part as well. Just to segregate it at the surface level, I am trying to do it this way. And your basic understanding is what is tested in prelims. Or my introduction in my answer, my body in my answer, conclusion in my answer. I can treat it this way as well. It will give me a structure towards my answer writing. It will give me a structure towards how do I prepare for UPSC exam. And this is what the UPSC itself says. So I have taken out the right words, whatever exact words from UPSC itself. Clear? See, it's sticking to basics and that common sense. In fact, there was an essay in UPSC which said, simplicity is the latest sophistication. Anybody understands or understood what I said now? Simplicity is the latest sophistication. This was the essay topic in UPSC. I think it was in UPSC 2023 or UPSC 2022. What do you mean by that? Anybody wants to try? As I said, there's nothing wrong or right here. You have to try. That is the first thing that you have to do. And all that I'm trying to do is making you think.
Simple life is best life.
It is kind of right, but it is not the exact meaning. Simplicity is the latest sophistication.
Simple life had become a problem in this society.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, being simple, using your common sense. In fact, using common sense itself has become a big challenge. Living your simple life itself has become a great challenge in today's life. That is what it means, and that is what you have to write in the essay. How do you see from all the perspectives? It can be political, geography, economics, whatever, at the individual level, societal level, national level, international level. So we can bring out so many examples and so many dimensions in this essay. Clear? Yeah. Now optional, since the word optional is written, I'll just tell you how to choose an optional before we start with decoding of the syllabus of GS. So optional subject, has anybody chosen an optional year? Has anybody chosen optional year?
No,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
I'm choosing.
Okay. So how do you choose an optional year? And how many optionals are there in UPSC?
Maybe 35.
35.
35 subjects.
I think 18 subjects, sir.
Okay. Just go through it. I think it is 23 plus 1. All the languages are put as 1 year. So including languages, it will go to 35, 40 or whatever it is. But all the languages like Assamese, Kannada, Hindi, Malayalam, Telugu, Tamil, all that is I consider as 1 because those are languages. Apart from that, there are 23 other options. It can be PubAd, public administration, geography, anthropology, political science and international relations, right? Sociology. There are so many options like that. And literature is also your optional, that 24th optional. So in that we have to choose one optional. So how do you choose an optional? Anybody has chosen an optional year already? And if at all you have done, how have you chosen this optional? What is your optional? And who is this person? Yeah. You opted for Kannada literature. On what basis did you choose Kannada literature? Okay. So, okay, she is saying she chose optional because of her interest. Yes, that is one area on which how you choose an optional. Was there any other criteria on which you chose Kannada literature as your optional, Gayatri? It was purely based on your interest, nothing else you considered. Okay, fine. That's also good. Any other students who have chosen their optional and on what basis apart from your interest? Any other student?
Sir, I chose
Psychology. On what basis did you choose psychology?
Yes, sir.
No, on what basis?
I like the subject, sir.
Interest again.
I mean, on the interest itself.
Yeah. Any other criterias? Nothing. Okay. Any other student who chose an optional and any criterias you followed?
But I chose anthropology. Like when I came for the admission, they said me to choose that because of my stream, so that it will be helpful if I choose anthropology.
Okay. You're saying background.
Yes, background of my education.
Okay. Any other criteria? So most of you, what I can see is you're basing your, basis of choosing your optional is based on your area of interest or your background. Any other criteria apart from this? So I would say there are two more other things that you should actually consider before choosing your optional. First, of course, majority 50% of weightage is given to my area of interest or the background that I come from. So when I say background, the familiarity with the subject also matters. Fine. So there are people, but at the same time, I am from electronics and communication. If I am from that, I would not suggest anybody to choose electronics as their optional in UPSC. There are doctors, I think Bhagyashree is a doctor, she did not choose medical science, she chose anthropology. So there are people like that who do not choose the same subjects. And I would not advise you to choose such subjects, especially with science subjects, technical subjects. Please think 10 times before choosing it. Because even today, though UPSC wants to play a level playing field, it has removed one optional, still that another optional is still playing an important role, because back during our days there were two optionals. Now it is only one optional, right? So 50% weightage should always obviously be given to your interest, familiarity, background. But then the next criteria also should be considered. That is the trend, the scoring trend is also equally important. Why am I telling this is from my own experience. My optional was public administration. And today, if I am here today, it is because of that option. The optional, even today, if you ask me, my favorite optional, the favorite subject that I would like to read is public administration. I'm so much involved, I'm so much connected to administration. But then, the same optional did not let me to clear this exam, because there is something called as, what is that called? Scaling factor that they accommodate in UPSC. Because of which, and also they'll see which optional is doing well. Like public administration, geography was doing really well for so many years, and they started targeting, and from 2012 the paper was set so difficult. Even till date, public administration is not doing well at all. So I would not advise anybody to take public administration as their optional, because even till date it's not performed well. And in 2012 there were students who had scored single digit out of 300 marks, say 8 out of 300. So that was the fate of PUBAD during those times. And both the optionals put together, they did not cross 3-digit score. So we had 600 marks then. Now it is 250, 250, 500 marks today. So it was 600 marks then. So out of 600 marks, they had scored 86, 88, something like that. So they did not even cross 3 digits that year. There were students like that. So scoring trend also plays a very important role. So you need to understand how many students are clearing with this optional in the last 5 years or 10 years. That data you should have, and that is given by UPSC itself. So you can go through that, you can check out with your seniors, you can check out with me. So that is the reason, don't blindly choose an optional. There are different criteria. One, as I said, 50% obviously should be given to your area of interest, your familiarity with the subject, all that. Then remaining one part of 25% should be given to the trend. How is this optional scoring? Because there are students who stick to that optional, and what happens is they don't change the optional also after 2-3 years, even when it's not scoring, and that is where they get stuck and they don't even clear the exam. This has happened also. See, choosing optional is like choosing your partner in life. That also you need to understand. It is like choosing your husband or wife, because you will stick to it for a long time, because sometimes it might take you 2 attempts, 3 attempts, 4 attempts also to clear the exam. This should be like, it's not like, okay, it's not like the present generation marriages or the Western marriages, where it happens where probably after a few years you get divorced and you marry someone else. It should not be like that. We still are Indians, we still are rooted to our culture, right? So if that is the case, we have to stick to one optional and make sure that we crack it with that optional. So instead of making a mistake and changing the optional after 3rd year, because you know Anudip Durishetty's story, rank 1 2017, 5 attempts, he had public administration as his optional, he had been to interview, all that, and did not clear. And the last attempt, and when he cleared also, I think he had got into IRS before, 5th attempt he was in IRS, and later he changed his optional to anthropology and he got rank 1. So all this has happened. Say I know both the sides of the spectrum. You would be seeing one side of it, but I'll be knowing both the sides. So that is the reason, before choosing your option, at least come to me once and please discuss with me. Right? See, why am I telling you is because I'm concerned, because ultimately your optional plays a very important role. Today, the people in anthropology optional paper 2 has not gone well this year, and many students have scored less. So this has also happened. Kannada literature also, the scores are less. So you have to discuss before choosing your option, and there's no hurry. You spend some 2-3 weeks, meet me in person. And it's not like you talk to your friends. See, your friends will only have one perspective, or probably they'll be just one level higher to you. But with my experience of in this field over a decade, right, guiding students, lakhs of students I would have guided, I would have a better experience, because I even evaluate mains copies of students. I'm in touch with toppers. Every year we have a the toppers who form a group and who come to me for that. So we'll have a different exposure and different experience. I can also make you speak to toppers of that optional, so you will be in a better position to understand that optional. Because once you choose, you will be spending 2-3 good enough years. And also optional choosing is like, even in the midnight, if I wake you up and give you that book, you should be able to, you should be happy to read that subject. That is how you should choose your optional. That is the reason it is said that it is like marrying your partner. You are choosing your husband and wife. That is how choosing an optional is in UPSC. Clear? Because it will make or break your career. Just like husband or wife can make or break your personal life, similarly optionals are. Clear? So second criteria is trend. Third, that is another 25% should be given to the resources, the materials, and do you have a proper mentor or a faculty here who can guide you through? Because these are very important. So these 3 criteria, I might choose an optional, but I might not have the proper guide for me or proper resources for me. That also plays an important role. So these 3 criteria, 50% weightage should be given for your interest or your background, 25% to the trend analysis, scoring, and 25% to the resources or the mentors or the faculties. So that is how an option should be chosen. Please, before you finalize this is your option, please have a word with me and please finalize on that basis. Am I clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Fine. Let's move on to the decoding of the syllabus part. Okay, as I said here, the GS1 is divided majorly into history, geography and society. Okay, so here if I look into it, let us take one of the topic. I'll take 1, 2, 3, I'll give you 3 examples. Based on that, you should start decoding the syllabus in that way. Let us take a very simple example where all of you can relate to. I'll take examples where all of us can relate to with our basic understanding and common sense. It is not like I should have read the UPSC before, or I should know the syllabus properly so that only then I can answer. So I'll take topics which are more people are familiar with. So it says salient features of Indian society. So what are the topics that I'll be studying under this particular main topic? What are the subtopics, or what is the scope of this particular keyword? Keyword, salient features of Indian society. What do you mean by that? And what are the subtopics that you will study here? Please be participative. This is the last part of your session. Please be active, proactive. What are the subtopics I'll be studying under the salient features of Indian society? What do you think are the salient features of Indian society? Somebody answered. As I said, even if it is right or wrong, until you answer, I'll not move on to the next example. Quickly, this would be a last part of your session. Be active. Yeah?
Cultural and tradition aspects.
Salient features.
Religion.
Can you be specific? Somebody said culture. I think it was Deepak. Culture. All that is fine, but can you be specific? What is that salient feature? Have you read about, have you heard about the salient features of Indian Constitution? So basically it means, what are the unique features of Indian Constitution? Similarly, when you think about Indian society, what are the things that come to your mind? What do you think is unique?
Diversity.
Yeah, diversity, very good.
Secularistic.
Diversity,
Caste system.
secularism, Indian way of secularism, the kind of secularism we have is different. It is different from the Western mode of secularism. Somebody said caste system, very good. Then I'm really happy that, okay, because you are answering questions which other batches would have not answered. So that is the reason I'm little happy that at least you know certain things better. At least your common sense is working out better. So diversity, secularism, caste system, anything else? How is our family system? What kind of family system we see in India?
Joint family,
Eh,
nuclear family.
Yeah, more of joint family. No, now of course, because of globalization and other effects, we are moving towards nuclear families. But joint family system is something that we see in India.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is how. This is nothing but breaking down the syllabus into different parts. Are you getting it? So this is how I'll study the subtopics. I'll be reading diversity. It can be in terms of language, in terms of a culture, in terms of a tradition. All that comes here. Then secularism, caste system, joint family system. So like this, these are the major subtopics that I'll be studying. So once I read this topic, that is the reason I said by-hearting the syllabus is one part of it. Apart from that, you should know at this level, what is the next level of dividing the topic. At least this level, 2 levels are important. This level and one more level if you want to. If not, you can just stick to this level. This is how I decode the syllabus. This is how I'll understand the syllabus. This is how I'll understand the scope of the syllabus. Am I clear? Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now let us take one more. Effects of globalization on Indian society. How do I study this topic?
Sir, like the influence of Western culture on India.
Yeah, very good. We'll just go through that. So basically, how is globalization impacting Indian culture? Then apart from culture,
Sir, people to
yeah,
people relations, sir, communication.
okay. Apart from that,
Education,
fine.
The rising standard of living.
Okay. Again, that can be put under lifestyle and culture.
Sir, development.
Anything else?
Sir, developments economically, socially, or even in technological.
Okay. On Indian society, how is it impacting the Indian society? Who are the major composition of Indian society? What UPSC has a knack of asking questions on certain sections of Indian society. Who are these certain sections where UPSC has a knack of asking questions? What is this composition of Indian society? Who it is composed of?
Sir, people.
Yeah, which people UPSC asks questions on? Or which section of people UPSC asks questions on? Vulnerable sections. What I'm trying to tell you is form themes like this. How do I get these themes? How did I get to know about this? It is through PYQs. That is the reason the syllabus and PYQs go hand in hand. That is why the syllabus and PYQs are so important in one's preparation. So when I say vulnerable sections, who are these vulnerable sections? Elderly population, elderly people, age-old people, right? Then women and children, then physically handicapped, tribals, farmers, poor people, farmers, then It can be even middle class. So these are the different, composition of our society, especially the vulnerable sections. So in 2016, there was a direct question on impact of globalization on elderly people. So it is nothing out of the syllabus. It is just that people have not understood what the syllabus is. This is why this plays an important role. Decoding the syllabus. So elderly population was asked in 2016. 2017, there was a question on impact of globalization on women and children. Direct questions. 2018, there was no question asked on society, on especially vulnerable sections and all. 2019, there was a question asked on middle class. Why do I say middle class is the most vulnerable group? Why? Is there a reason for it?
In India, most population is on middle class families.
Yeah. So most of them are in middle class. Even fuel price, onion price, it impacts. What will the poor people do? They'll not even buy it. They are okay with believing that they don't want the transport system like that. All that is fine. They are okay to adjust that way. The rich class are least bothered. For Ambani, even if the fuel goes to 100 rupees to 1000, he'll still buy because he can afford to buy. But where the majority of the population is the middle class. Any small price hike happens, even the milk price increased. So it is impacting the middle class people a lot compared to the poor or the richer people. Getting it? So there was a question asked in 2019 on impact of globalization on middle class. So like that, physically handicapped are there, poor, farmers, tribals, there are different vulnerable sections. So UPSC has a knack of asking questions on vulnerable sections of our Indian society. Am I clear? So this way you need to study. How do you understand the themes? It is through PYQs. So that is the reason the syllabus and PYQs should go hand in hand. Clear? Then you will understand what are the keywords, what are the subtopics, what is the scope of the syllabus. Then it becomes easier for you to understand the syllabus properly and you will be in line with the demand of UPSC exam. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
This is paper 2, as I said, constitution and polity. Then you will have governance and social justice, then international relations. Then paper 3, that is GS3, economy and agriculture and infrastructure, all that comes in first part. Then second part is on science and technology, environment and disaster management. Then the last part is your internal security. Okay, coming to this part. Let us take a topic here. The first topic of GS3. Mobilization of resources. Mobilization of resources. What do you mean by this? What are the topics and subtopics you should study under this particular topic? Quickly, we'll wind up the session. Yeah.
Including human resources like water.
Yeah. First of all, you need to, very good. One is human resource, then natural resources
Financial
or renewable resources, financial resources. Anything else? Very good. Human, you have got it right again. As I said, I'm telling you, at least you people are at least making that effort and you're getting the answers also right. So that way I'm actually happy. Now I feel like I should have actually met you offline. I should have discussed all this. Anyway, one way or the other we'll meet up in the future. So human resource, when I look at human resource, it is nothing but demographic dividend is the topic that I have to study. Right? All that on employment, demographic dividend, all these topics I can study under human resource. So this is the next level of differentiation. This is first level. So this is first level. This is the second level. These topics. So these two levels are enough. Don't go beyond it, because if you go beyond it, you will have overlapping topics between GS 1, 2, 3, 4. You will find similar topics overlapping. So 1 or 2 levels is more than enough. Mobilization is nothing but how are you taking leverage of that resources? How are you utilizing that resources? That is the meaning of mobilization. But most importantly, it is this resources word that I'll be breaking it down. So human resource, demographic dividend, employment, all that comes under one part of it. Then natural resource, renewable, solar, wind, right? All that comes under that kind of resources. Or even it can be non-renewable resources also. Right? That is an overlapping topic with GS1, geography. See, always keep in mind that don't study GS1 separately, GS2 separately, 3 and 4 separately. It should be like one subject called general studies, that has GS1 has certain topics, GS2 has certain topics, GS3 has certain topics, GS4 has certain topics. What I'm trying to tell you is you should be linking between GS4 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3. That capacity should develop. That is nothing but your essay. So once you develop that capacity, essay writing becomes very easy for you. That is nothing but your 360-degree approach, or you can call it as polity, history, geography approach, or you can call it as GS 1, 2, 3, 4 approach. You can call it by different names. But you should always keep in mind that general studies is one subject. In that I will have different topics. That's it. Study that way, then your answers will come out very well. Your answers will come out very well in the interview as well. Then financial resource is nothing but your budget, economic survey, all that comes here. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is how you have to prepare. This is how you have to decode the syllabus. Am I clear? Any doubts till now?
No, sir.
Any doubts? I'll give a statement. The statement goes like this. A cyclist is bad for economy. This was the statement given by a famous economist. I'll repeat the statement. A cyclist, if at all there's space, I'll write it somewhere here. Think through it. Think through that statement. This is ethics. A cyclist is bad for economy. From this statement, what do you understand? What are your views on this statement? What are you thinking? Why is this statement made like this? Or what is your opinion on this? Again, this question is made only to make you think.
So when we are going on a cycle, we will not see the things very close. It will be very fast.
We don't contribute for the economy.
Why do you say that? We don't contribute for the economy.
Since the cyclists don't use
We don't buy fuel or
Yeah, somebody, can you please be loud? You're right.
we don't buy the fuel
Yeah,
to drive a cycle.
we don't buy the fuel. So how will the economy grow? Economy is filled with all goods and services provided. So fuel you do not buy then? Then?
no motor vehicle park.
Parking, okay. Then? Why do you think the statement is made by this by a famous economist? He had made this famous statement, it became controversial also, all that. So why do you think that statement has been made like this?
Increase it.
Yeah?
Standard of living will not increase. It will be the same.
Why will standard of living will not increase? There are very rich people who buy cycles, high-end cycles.
Increase physical activity and it reduces environmental impact by not using fuel.
Yeah, so that is basically, cyclist is good for economy, if that is the case.
Yeah.
It is good because it environment friendly, so that is good for economy. Positive. So the statement itself is wrong if that is the case. think, no, it is common sense. I'm not even asking you anything from UPSC, all that. All the questions that I've asked today is only from your basic understanding and common sense, which you can answer. And these are the things that you should keep in mind, because these are the things that will make you think. Thought process. Yeah?
We don't buy any items like luxury products or the fast foods.
There's nothing like that.
Impact the economy also.
Anything else? Why do you think a cyclist is bad for economy? Of course, fuel is not there then. Nobody can think.
Sir, automobile industry cannot survive.
Yeah, obviously automobile industry will be it. See, not only that, what will happen if I buy a car? What do I need?
Fuel.
I'll pay tax. I'll pay road tax. So the government is not getting the amount tax. The government will miss out on the tax. Apart from that road tax and all that, then what else? If the insurance, I need insurance. Insurance will be missed out. So this sector will take a hit. Then the car will go for service. It'll go for repair. Right? Repair and service. So this industry will survive.
Sir, also the tourism industry will get more income from car own vehicles.
Yeah, that is also fine. But these are something like which are immediate. Right? If I have to say that a cyclist is good for economy, how? Obviously, the pollution will be less, environment conservation will happen or degradation will not happen. Then a cyclist makes a person healthy, physically healthy. So once he is healthy, the doctors will not have any kind of role here. The fitness, gym, all that, no, they'll actually suffer because they are on cycling. So fitness experts, doctors, specialists, all that, they'll not get any patients as such, isn't it? See, McDonaldization of there's a term called as McDonaldization of Indian culture. So that McD or fast food culture has come to India, and because of such foods only, people get sick. They'll go to doctors. It creates an entire economy. It creates a cycle. Here, when a cyclist comes, obviously environment or physically healthy, no fuel, no insurance as such, nothing, all that. So these sectors will take a hit eventually. So that is the reason he made a statement that a cyclist is bad for economy, because there are so many other sectors which will lose out. This will actually improve the people from individual perspective, environment perspective, but this is not giving something to the economy because these sectors will not be benefited at all. Am I clear? So always try to think on those lines. It's not like I'm expecting some iFund answer or UPSC answer, something like that. Commonsensically, you can think to. These are something that if I buy a car, what will happen? If I buy a cycle, just ask questions to yourself that way. And this is what UPSC requires. A well-read person. In fact, in that syllabus also it is given a well-read person is what it is looking for. A well-read person is somebody who is knowledgeable, who has basic understanding, who uses common sense and presence of mind. Not like a subject expert. Your subject expertise will actually be a value add, that's it. But this understanding, logic, reasoning is more important than anything else in UPSC. The way you think, the thought process is what differentiates a topper from the rest of the crowd. It is not like you read Lakshmikant for 20 times and you will clear. Or some other spectrum for 20 times and you will clear. Even if you are reading 2-3 times, if your understanding is this way, if your thought process is built properly, that is the reason the orientation session, we stress so much, I stress so much on this, so that you are oriented properly. You are thinking in the right direction. Am I clear? Any doubts here?
No, sir.
I hope you also know what are the things that you have got with the program. You will have a e-learn portal. You will have access to Babapedia, Prelimspedia, all that. Fine. So again, this and all we'll discuss later because it's more about how Gandhiji can be brought in this integrated approach of studying. how Gandhiji can be linked to GS1, GS2, GS3 and GS4. So that is the reason, don't restrict yourself to that only GS1, only GS2, only GS3 or GS4. Treat entire general studies as one subject. Then you will be able to link like this. It can be linked to Indian society, women's education, history. In GS4, entire ethics it can be linked. GS3 also cottage industries, environment, all that. GS2 polity, village, panchayats, decentralization, cooperatives, international relations. Everywhere Gandhiji can be linked. Even women can be linked in all the topics. GS1, 2, 3, 4. So that approach you should have. So coming to the foundation program, I will not be explaining about the program because all of you would be counseled well, right? So it's more about what are the features that we provide. Babapedia, it is called the one-stop destination for current affairs. So all your current affairs related, it is divided into Prelimspedia and Mainspedia. This is how it looks like. I'm just giving you a gist of it. In fact, this was last year's. So now it has the UI has been made even better. So, but this remains the same. Once I go to prelims all the way from 2016 to, this was still 2022. Now the last 2 years also has been added. You don't have to touch anything of this. It will lead to confusion. Just study, say today is May 14th, start from May 14th. Forget about what has been done previously. Don't even touch that. It is simply, it will confuse you. It will make things difficult for you. And all that is not required. So from May 14th, you start off. From 2024 you click on it, you will get those topics, and also it is divided into subject wise like this: economy, environment. Either you can go this way, say suppose you want to read polity of last 1 month, you can click on polity and you will get all the topics of polity. If you click on geography, you will get all the topics of geography or environment like that. So go with year wise. So once I click on say 24, it gives me dates like this. So if today is 29th, I'll click on that. I'll have 4 issues on 29th, that is prelims related only. So this is how the UI looks. See, once I click on that, as I said previously, if you go to 29 June says Hermit spyware. So once I click on it, so it will go to Hermit spyware and it is connected, it is covered this way. There is also a think session which will make you think. Again, it is nothing but the parallel thoughts that keeps running when you read a topic. And the source is also given here, right? Then once you go to Mainspedia, again, it is divided into years and GS1, 2, 3, 4 paper. So this 4 papers and this is year. Then again, if you click on each article, it goes like this. It's given in a mains. I think it is not that visible for you, but you understand the format. So it's given in a mains answer writing format. What comes in the introduction, like what comes in the body, and every keyword that is mentioned, it just works like Wikipedia. So it's just like Wikipedia. When you click on one keyword, it like say predatory pricing, it goes to that article. If you click on that blue link, it takes you to another article. Something like that we have done. That is the reason it is called as Babapedia. So it is given this way. Then this is value add notes. Value add notes, this time I would say you don't have to refer any NCERT, any standard books. We have revamped the value add notes. I mean, we call it a different name. It's called comprehensive notes. So we have come up with 2 kinds of notes this year. So one is comprehensive notes, which is nothing but an amalgamation of NCERTs and the standard book. For example, polity NCERTs and Lakshmikant. You don't have to refer this to. All that you have to do is just refer to one source, because we have come up with this concept that one stop, one destination. So the value add notes are done that way. Current affairs notes are done that way. So the comprehensive notes will cover everything. You don't have to refer anything as such. And later in say November, December, you will have value added notes. So value add notes is nothing but say you have 4 PDFs of polity. So all 4 PDFs will be covered just in 60 to 80 pages. That will act as a revision notes for you. So just stick to that, blindly read that, read 10 times the same book instead of reading 10 different books. That is a very important thing. This you would have heard it from all the toppers, from so many mentors, faculties. It remains the same. Instead of reading 10 different books, read the same book for 10 times. Instead of reading 5 different books, read the same book for 5 times. That is more worthy. And we have made sure that you don't have to refer to NCERTs or the standard books this time. So please stick to what is given in the comprehensive notes. That is more than enough for you. Always stick to minimal resource. Clear? So this is how it is given pictorially and all. So it will help you a lot, and you can also make your notes this way. The side may notes space is also given, so you can make notes this way. And this is nothing but there are so many people giving this exam, all that is there, competition is there, all that, but ultimately you need to believe that it is you. It is a unique you. work on your strength and your weakness. Don't get bogged down. Don't get worried about what other person is doing, which college that person is coming from, what is his 10th marks, 12th marks, degree marks. All that will not matter in UPSC. What ultimately matters in UPSC is your unique self. Understanding your strength and weakness is equally important. Understanding the demand of UPSC exam is one way. Understanding yourself is the other way, which will eventually lead to success. Because what happens, each student is different. Somebody who is active in morning, he or she is active in morning, somebody is active in night, right? So it depends on your, whichever, morning or evening hours, wherever you are active, you base your studies on that. For example, one of my close friend who is an IPS today in Shimoga, he used to divide his day again, say 2 hour slots we used to divide, and each slot he used to take up different subjects. Say polity he reads in 2 hour slot, next current affairs, then geography. So he used to combine 2 subjects with current affairs, or is optional with GS and current affairs. So he used to study that way. I was a person who used to keep one subject at a time. Say polity, if I start, throughout that week, throughout 2 weeks, 3 weeks, till I cover that subject, I used to read only that. So you should understand what type of person you are. And I was a person who used to read during the night times. So till 3, 4, I used to sleep then. So, but my friend, he used to sleep by 11, 12 at the max and wake up at 5, 6 and he used to study in the morning. So it depends on individual to individual. So don't follow someone else. Work on your strength and weaknesses. Strategize according to your strength and weakness. That is what the picture depicts here. It's a unique you. Clear? Finally, thank you for patiently listening. Not even a single student left. They were all 2.5 hours or even 3 hours, close to 3 hours. Yeah, it's close to 10:20 we started. It is 1:20. You are there continuously listening to what I have been suggesting and guiding you. Most importantly, please note down all the important keywords and lines that I have told. That will become a framework for you. That will create a framework for you till you clear the exam. And every word that I have put up holds an immense importance in this exam. Clear? And all that I can say you is you are in safe hands. We will take care of end-to-end responsibility of your preparation thing. All that you have to do is whatever we tell you in the class, whatever the mentor tells you in the discussion session, please keep that in mind and apply it. You don't have to do extraordinary things. You have to do ordinary things every day, every week, every month, throughout the year. That consistency has to be maintained. Am I clear? And whatever I've said in the time management, please keep that in mind. PYQs, sit in the class, 5 to 10 minutes of takeaways, read, talking to your mentor, discuss, after that, taking the test, weekly test or fortnightly test regularly. Right? Please follow that. That itself is a great achievement that you can do. And after 1 month, you come back to me and we'll see whether you are the same person. I can tell you whether you will remain consistent, whether you will be able to clear this exam. Again, I'll repeat, this exam does not require intelligence or super brain, all that. All this exam requires is consistency, discipline, hard work. Is that clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I hope the session was helpful. And keep things, whatever I've told in the session, and we'll meet in person as well shortly. So tomorrow there'll be current affairs session that will be taken, it will be announced to all of you. And day after tomorrow, the history classes will start. Again, history orientation will be the first class, then the subject will start. Am I clear?
Yes, sir.
So hope you know what is the demand of UPSC exam. What is this UPSC exam all about? What is the expectation from UPSC? And what to read, what not to read, and how to read. And which will eventually lead to your success. That is to crack this exam in your very first or at the most second attempt. And you have to be ready to sacrifice that 2 years or 2 + 1 years. Fine? And till you clear, our support will always be there. And wish you all the best. Sorry, this is my number 8883699333, and please contact me only through Telegram. Okay? And always you should be contacting your mentor or the counselor who was there for you. And even then, if you are not satisfied, you can definitely get in touch with me. Am I clear? And also, before choosing your optionals, please let me know.
Yes,
Yeah, wish you all the best again.